Triple H is watching us, everybody. He's watching us. Hello, Triple H. I hope everybody enjoyed WWE's NXT War Games. It's in my pants right now.
Be saying Sting, dude.
Oh, baby, give me dick.
This is Wardlow from AEW, and you're watching The Joe Cronin Show.
A wrestling podcast with attitude.
Yo, thanks, Wardlow, you savage bastard. Jake DeMarco in the house, looking wet. He's a married man now. He's a married man now, ladies. You'll never get him because he's a... Woo! He's a married man, brother. How about, man, Pat McAfee is dead. What's going on, Jake? How you doing, man?
What's going on? Yeah, he killed himself. He absolutely put his body through hell. And they made him look like $1 million, too. They built him up.
Yeah, he looked like a falling dummy out of a building.
Barely anybody caught him when he came off the top of the cage. Holy crap. That was a hell of a bump.
Are they mad at him or something? Like, they were like, yo, let's just, yeah, you're going to hit the ground. Yeah,
especially with everybody looking up like they know you're coming. He hit that perfect, too. Great swan.
They moved out of the way of him like that guy who went through the chair the other day.
Yeah, where he just broke the chair into pieces.
Just go ahead. You know, you're going to go right through the chair. Good luck to you. See you later. Man, War Games. To me, this was sort of was like kind of as expected. Like, it was pretty good show.
Exciting. Yeah, it's fun.
Nothing crazy. Pretty good show. Fun to watch, kind of. I thought it was nice. Nice show. Solid show. I don't even remember our predictions at this point, but I'm pretty sure
I was way off. So I think the only one I got right was the strap match.
Did I win then? For God's sake, I don't.
I'm pretty sure you got more over me for this. So.
Yay! I think we had backwards like the male and the female matches.
Yeah. And I was wrong on those. I'm pretty sure that you were right on those two counts. And you did say the women would open. I had hoped that the women would close, especially by the way they were building it. But it was a good way to open the show. No matter what, one of the War Games matches, either or, is a good way to go. And we got pretty much a great match from both of them. I think they're pretty much equal.
Yeah, I don't think the women
a little bit more.
Yeah, I don't think the women's
not by much.
The women's was much more basic to me. I didn't think the women really did that much.
Really?
I mean, maybe
I enjoyed it thoroughly. I mean, it didn't wow me. It didn't knock my socks off. It wasn't anything, unorthodox that we haven't seen before. So I get that saying, but it certainly was impressive. I mean, I like seeing Io Shirai come off the top with, wearing a trash can. That was certainly
the best part, yeah, probably of that, because it was like, what the hell? She's going on the top and she puts a trash can on herself. Like, that was hilarious.
Dakota Kai had a couple of pretty damn brutal moments herself, so she looked really impressive.
Yeah, the women. I wonder what people think. I wonder what people will say in the chat and everywhere else about the women. As far as the men versus the women, what was better? What did you think? Love to see what people think. This should lead to the UE moving on main card.
That kind of feels like it.
That's Jacob RP said that in the chat.
It seemed that way. They wanted him up. A little bit of the bubbly.
That's it. Want some bubbly? Look at this stuff. A little bit of the bubbly. That's it.
10 out of 10. Every match was great. Only thing didn't like much was all the ghost faces. NXT Women's Division is best in world. Bitter end to Adam Cole on chair looked sick.
Yeah, that looked really good too. All the matches were good too. It really was like that. I thought I did think the Dexter Lumis, Cameron Grimes one was slow and kind of didn't care, but it was, that was as expected. We kind of really thought it was going to go that way. Alexa's sweet ass, thank you for dropping $3 off. on us. The donations are on Streamlabs down below if you guys want to help out or say something crazy or do something weird. Super chats are on down below as always. Also, and you can become a member if you feel like doing that also. Alexa's sweet ass. Thanks for the $3. I wouldn't go 10 out of 10, but it was definitely a solid deal tonight.
I feel like I would give this an 8 right off the top without really discussing anything yet. I might say 7.5. You know,
I was going to say 7.5. So
the middle matches weren't anything stellar, but the war games are always.
Let me grab my coffee here.
Yeah, I mean, for what we got tonight, I felt like it was really enjoyable. It was fun. It was just pretty much the same level or amount of enjoyment that I derived from AEW's Winter is Coming event the other day. Everything had, really good points. And I'm kind of conflicted at this moment in time because I don't know whether to praise Pat McAfee for this crazy son of a bitch that he is or flame the rest of the wrestlers that are currently on the roster because a, former punter NFL player came in and showed everybody who's boss. No, he's not the greatest wrestler in the ring, but he's been on top. He's one of the best promos they have right now. And you see other people, CM Punk included, pointing this out. That's for a reason. He was stellar tonight. My God, he made everyone look great, and he looked fantastic himself. I hope this is not the end. It would be silly to not see more of him. I'm sure they have plans for him going forward, but so damn good for what we got from his side. And, he kicked out of some crazy spots and maneuvers. And we also saw, some really innovative moments, too, from the men's match, I thought. Some things we haven't seen before. So we'll get into that when we break down the full matches after. But I'm curious to hear what everyone's favorite match of the night was. Did you like the men's? Did you like the women's? Was there, one in between that you cared for? We did have Ciampa take on Thatcher, and that was more of a traditional style match, but that was really good. I really enjoyed that, especially because it's not something we see often, that style anymore.
That match got me hard, dude. I got hard for that match. That was crazy. And dude,
I don't know if Thatcher was ever going to be able to hear again.
Yeah, I was like, dude, did he explode his eardrum? I've never seen an ear bleed like that isn't like, it looked like it was bleeding. I'm assuming it was a cut ear, but it's like, that looked like it was coming from inside the ear. So no matter what, you got to give it to him because it looked so good. It was obviously a mistake maybe, but it looked like a exploded eardrum.
It was just the way it was bleeding, and even the announcers at first, they're like, I'm not sure where it's coming from, and then they're like, oh wait, no, we know it was that elbow, and it didn't look like it sliced the ear. It looked like it was a concussive hit that made it burst. So hopefully he's okay, but
right,
we'll get some type of update shortly, I imagine, when Triple H does the media call.
Yeah, there's a lot of things to get to. I didn't even tag this video right now that I think about it. I set this live video up and then forgot to put the tags in, so I got to just go put those in real quick. But I would probably go 7.5 if we're gonna, if I'm gonna drop a rating right off the bat as well. I would definitely be with you pretty much. I think that they really did just about everything, and I appreciate that they had these different flows, and they really had a nice. We said this, and when we were predicting it, I kind of laid out how I thought, I would like to see the thing done. I think I had some other idea, though, that for some reason I think I had the women not just going first, but going second and opening with something different. I think I had the North American title opening or something like that, whatever it was, and so it wasn't quite right, but for the most part, we got kind of what we thought. But yeah, do you know what you think is the best match of the night? Because I don't. I'm still kind of trying to figure out how I feel about this.
I really like the Thatcher Ciampa match. That one to me was just, I don't want to say unorthodox, but it's something we don't see that often. We always get this very fast pace, and they were slow, methodical, and told this really impressive story where they were just set out to hurt each other. They inflicted a lot of pain. And it was like that Walter Elam match that I saw not long ago. Wasn't to that level by any means, but still was damn entertaining. And they really beat the snot out of each other. So great competition from both men. And I said it during the preview that we did on Out of Nowhere. I said it to Spaz also. Ciampa's one of those people that can make you look good in defeat. And though they try that often, that's not something that's easy to achieve. It's really difficult to make someone look worthwhile when you have them lay on their back for a 3 count.
Mm-hmm.
They did that tonight. Thatcher looked great, even though he lost. with everything that he took, survived, countered, and gave back to Tommaso, it really proved him to be a straightforward contender going forward.
Yeah, it was nice. What'd you think of the little, the vulture thing? Obviously, seems like a lot of people, that's just Cross coming back.
Yeah, it's definitely has to be Karrion Kross. It looks like they're setting up that New Year's Evil show to go ahead and have Balor versus Cross. So that would be all right by me. Can't wait for that.
Yeah,
then we get to see who's the real NXT champion.
Who do they? So I don't know who they think they're fooling though. But it's a nice little preview. I mean, like Vic Joseph was like, "Oh, what's that?" It's funny. I mean, I get you're supposed to do that. It's pretty
straightforward. Some people were thinking that it was Sting, I was like, okay, you got to be mental or trolling. Other people did think it was Raven. I get because it had that same imagery, but
Raven
we know
sucks.
that Karrion Kross used similar imagery months back.
If it was Raven, it would have been a crack needle, okay, and then it would have been him.
They're not.
Oh, Raven's
they're
coming.
Not pulling AEW. They're not pulling anybody in for NXT like that.
Well, actually, what you don't know, Jake, what you don't understand is the fact that it's actually not. It's Sting, but it's not Sting. You know what I mean? I know that you were under the impression that people thought it was Sting, but nobody really thinks it's Sting. What it is it's NXT's version of Sting, Stang.
Oh, Stang.
Yeah, they've dressed
Mania style.
One of the new black wrestlers that they've hired. They've dressed him up. It was all Vince McMahon's idea, and his name is Stang.
So they put a black guy in whiteface.
Yeah, they're putting a black guy. Well, No, the black guy's actually putting blackface on his blackface.
Oh, that sounds more like Vince.
Yeah.
He's got his fingers all in NXT now. That makes sense.
Yeah, it's black on black face paint. And the name
really
is...
want to hide him, apparently.
Yeah, and the name is Stang.
Stang. It's Stang.
Yeah. Dude, wait till you see it. Yo, walk in the ring with Stang!
Hey... If it makes them money, they'll do it. We'll see how many shirts they can sell if it comes close to the Sting shirts.
God. Can you imagine, dude, a wrestler called Stang? and they really do it. It's Stang, Stang.
That's what they had for Talking Shop-A-Mania 2, and it was hilarious.
Oh, my God. And you know what?
Stang.
Did they really do that?
They really had Stang, yeah. It was
Wait a minute. Are you serious?
Yeah. That's what I thought you were talking about.
Wait a minute. Was it a black guy?
No, it was a white guy, but they just did it. It was a ripoff of Sting. Because they were doing, everything they couldn't license. Or
oh my God!
Get.
Because all right, so I didn't see that. Dead serious. Wow, that's. I mean,
that's why I didn't think.
No, I was gonna. You don't understand what's gonna happen when you step in the ring with Stang. And he's cutting a promo, and you know what his music's gonna be? It's gonna be this. It's gonna be this. Ever since Stang was a little bitty boy, my mama said to eat your vegetables, eat your corn. Eat your potatoes, eat your grits, and I'm gonna go out there and show everybody why I am the one and only Stang. What you got? What you got for me? Look at him, Triple H, you love him. I love it, the way he moves, the way he shuck and jives, the way he dances. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not Sting, it's Stang. That's a total Vince McMahon thing. I mean, that's not out of the realm of possibility with Stang. And yes, R-Truth could play Stang. The man known as Stang.
They'll start pulling out all the wrestlers that they can't get that are in AEW. They'll have, they'll have Dusty's ashes. They'll figure it out.
Yeah, yeah. No, the Krusty.
There we go, Krusty.
Oh my God, bro. Just what? Put me in fucking blackface, and I'll be Stang. I mean, like, I'll do it. Listen, my whole family's lives may be ruined. They'll call us all racist forever. But, I mean, listen, sign me to $1 million and give me an island. I'll be Stang. I'll do it.
You'll finally be on TV,
Yeah, I don't care. Who cares? You put some fucking makeup on your face. It's not that big a deal. CJ Edwards.
TV, YouTube takes you serious. So.
Right. Yeah. And listen, now I'll be on Wikipedia. CJ Edwards, thank you for subbing to the channel, man. If we have some little glitches tonight, it's because I'm broadcasting in, like, super high HD by accident because I was recording gameplay. Oh, the 1999 Karen. Fuck Karen, you dumb bitch. Fuck Karen, suck my dick. And fuck Karen,
cancel culture shit. Fuck Karen, you dumb bitch. Fuck Karen, suck my dick. And fuck cancel culture shit. Fuck Karen, you dumb bitch. 'Cause Karens are shit.
Yeah.
NXT did fantastic tonight, 8/10. McAfee sold like a fuck.
If you don't know, Twisted is also, like, what are they? Twisted is like a different version of ICP, sort of. They're in that whole sort of group of people, right? Twisted's kind of like rap, white rap guys with paint on their faces, kind of like ICP. But I don't know that much more about them, and I didn't know that, but I take your word for it because it does sound like something that would come out of that camp. So they do well, but I mean, you know, that's what do? They do some kind of New Year's Evil thing with music. You know what I mean? So I mean, I guess it's a little different because this is wrestling, you know. But I don't know if they own the name to that or the whatever. I'm sure they don't. I assume WWE checked patents and things like that, and they're within their legal rights to do it. So you know, I don't know. Maybe someone's a fan of them. I don't know. Maybe Twisted will be there. Maybe Twisted will be there, and we can execute Twisted live on TV. Finally, get rid of them. That'd be nice. Make a Stang shirt, Joe. Yeah, you know what? I'll make a Stang. Anybody's an artist out there. Anybody who can make me into a black man, make me look like a black guy with face paint on, ripping off Sting, and have me going like this, and then Stang right across. You know, I mean, but I feel like
now we're selling.
But see, I don't think now I'm ripping off apparently the talk shop thing, so now I can't do that. I didn't. You know,
yeah, Heath Slater might have something to. I mean, not Heath Slater. Stang might have something to say about that.
Yeah, then they'll say that I ripped that off, so I can't really do that. And it would be funny too because I'd be like, and like the T-shirt, I'd be like, you know the Sting. Remember when Sting did the Joker and it was like super cringy, and Sting was like, and he looked like an idiot. Like I would do that, but I'd be like. And it would be right across, like the old Batman words when they punch and kick in the '60s Batman show.
Bang,
it'd
pow,
be like, Stang,
wham,
Stang. It's fucking great, dude. This is a great idea. We're geniuses. Yo,
that's a moneymaker.
That is really. God damn it! Why am I not hired?
Do Stung, his half Asian brother.
Oh, I could do Stung. That's right. And like, you're okay, and I'm getting stung by a bee in my neck, and I'm going. Stung.
Stung, Sting, Stang, and Stung.
Yeah.
Got the trio.
And the whole gimmick is that, like, no pain hurts me, actually. Like, that I do get attacked.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, but
you got attacked by a colony of bullet ants, and since then you're impervious to pain.
This is a really great idea.
Superheroes.
Really good.
Look at that. Total backstory.
Okay, I like it.
Instantly.
Like it. Yeah, Joker Sting was pretty cringe, man. Pretty.
You know
cringe
what I didn't care for that at all. My favorite thing of this night was Black Sabbath, War Pigs. I love that song.
Yeah.
And having that on repeat made everything that much more epic. Every one of those promos that included it was just badass.
Yeah, they could have been like, oh, and coming up next, you know, we're going to fist apples out of Bruce Pritchard's asshole. And it would have been like, oh, cool, like, because black masses, and you would have been like, yeah, here it comes. Let's fucking just pull those apples out of Bruce's ass. Let's go.
Let's do it. I'll line up.
Signed up for that. So, you know what? That was a great choice. The one thing you're not going to go wrong with on NXT as long as Triple H is there is you're going to get that damn good music. You're going to get that great music. Just goes well. Everything they do.
He doesn't mind paying for, you know, music licensing.
Yeah. You probably should worry more about the fact that you're losing by a lot to AEW. But
yeah, that should be your main objective to accomplish at this point. But hey, got some good music. Can't beat it.
And somewhere there's and I did have a few friends on Twitter that did hit me up, and they said, because I said on Twitter, I said, and listen, there's a lot of people that love the rock and the metal that NXT plays. There's a lot of people, black, white, no matter what color, no matter what race, no matter what background, people love it. You know, they really do. But there is an element of some people that don't understand it. And I had a couple people hit me up on Twitter. Jamal Parkins, he said, Joe, listen, I love NXT, but man, do they ever do something different besides this metal white people rock? He goes, white people rock. And he goes, man, every time I love NXT, but every time I listen to it, I feel like I'm at the Klan's about to hang my friends.
Yeah.
So that guy,
He goes, very, all metal rock.
I said, but
focused.
it's War Pigs, man, from like Ozzy and all these other things. And then before there was Slipknot. He goes, yeah, I heard a couple Slipknot songs and they scared the shit out of me. And I'm like, and so this guy apparently, whenever he watches NXT, all he hears, I guess he thinks all the music is like, I guess he must just hear like, hang the black people and kill them. Like he hears
screaming the whole time.
Yeah, he thinks it's all like Confederate style or something. I don't. And I'm like, nah, man, this is like, these are people that would love like everybody. They're like artists. Like, you kidding me? What are you talking about? And he goes, but yeah, his stuff, he likes Drake. So he told me, he said, I like Drake. And I said, well, then you just stick to the Raw opening and you'll be okay.
Yeah, stay to the main roster. That's where your rap's at.
I appreciate the DM though, Jamal. That's a hilarious DM. But I have a lot of black friends who say they love the music. So I don't know. I think but I understand what you're saying. But no, that's Ozzy, bro. That's classic Black Sabbath.
That's as classic rock as you get.
And he wrote something like, well, see, even the name, like Black Sabbath, like, does that mean it's like
take us up to 88 miles an hour, and let's go back for a minute to our Stang idea.
Stang.
Milkdud on Twitter sent us Heath Slater's Stang t-shirt. So it's pretty much exactly what you described. It's Heath Slater's face with a little bit of face paint on it, and it says Stang.
Oh my God, are you serious?
It's missing blackface, but it's essentially what you described as your shirt idea. So we'd definitely be ripping them off.
Oh my God, dude. Well, we obviously think alike, obviously.
Yeah. No, you can't have, same thought. That's not allowed.
Let me see. WWE.
That is hilarious, though.
Let me go see here. Stang.
Yeah, we got tagged in it on Twitter by Milkdud.
Oh, really? So I can go look at this? Because I need to see this. I mean, this is a great, by the way, and remember, I didn't see this. So this is another great example of how you can really think like alike or cross-thinking or whatever you call it.
Yeah, the first Talkin' Shop Mania was, I really liked the Boneyard match. There were some funny parts to the other things.
I did watch that one, though. I did watch
that. That was a highlight. The second one, I didn't see in its entirety. I saw a good portion of it, and it was funny, but I've got to finish it still.
Wow. Oh, my God. There it is.
See? And it's almost to a T, pun intended, what you described.
But see, I would have had him doing this, like,
yeah,
like really, or like Stang, like it has to.
Looks like
really,
we're going with Stung.
Like this doesn't.
Stung it is.
Like this looks like Stung. This looks like Stung. He looks Stung here. That doesn't look like Stang. That looks like Stung. But like mine looks like Stang. Like.
I guess it's a good time for WWE to drop the merch because AEW's lawyers aren't going to go after them. But I bet you WWE would take that down in a heartbeat if they still had Sting.
Oh yeah, they would. Yeah. That's the funny thing about them, the scumbags, is they would definitely go after them. It
just worked out. Oh, that's funny.
Man, I'll tell you what, Pat McAfee jumping off the top, man, I'll tell you what, dude, that guy has been practicing since fucking September 11th. I'll tell you that. He fucking went right off of that thing in a free fall. Like he went off that thing like big time swanton off the top of the cage. I'll tell you, look at that. That guy's been practicing. Unbelievable. What a free fall. Look at that.
He did an excellent job tonight. And like I said, I don't know if that speaks volumes about him and his dedication, or he says a lot about the rest of the roster not stepping up, but my God, I mean, he's just been top notch with everything. And I know he's not the most perfect wrestler, but he made everyone look like $1 million. Well,
and so who's the one that just called him out? Somebody called out all the wrestlers and said
CM Punk was talking about it specifically the other day.
So he's right. So this guy, Pat McAfee,
we said this last time and the Takeover event.
Right. And I love it. And by the way, Vic Joseph, you suck, pal. You suck. Sorry, this guy, he drives me nuts, man. Vic Joseph drives me nuts. It's not like he's bad. It's just he's so mediocre. Like he's so like just I'm the sportscaster guy.
And that's the thing. He's just so not that and was Beth invisible? Diva Bible said that at one point, but I feel like we barely heard her tonight.
I heard her a lot, but that was me. I don't know why. I heard her plenty of times. And I like her every time because Beth kind of yells these things that are real in the background. Like Beth kind of says stuff like that's a tremendous amount of pain on the neck, or on the he landed on the sternum. Like she'll yell stuff like that randomly, and I'll be like, yes, I like Beth. I really like Beth.
Yeah, she's very descriptive, uses a lot of adjectives, colorful language, so she really helps paint a picture of what's going on. I like that. You need that.
Quite honestly,
quite
honestly, if Morrow and who's the other guy that's not there anymore with the British accent that I should know?
Nigel?
Nigel McGuinness. If Nigel McGuinness, okay, so if Mauro Ranallo was there, right, he'd be like the best voice. He'd be like the number one guy. So in the spot of the main play-by-play guy, Morrow would be like a 9 out of 10 or an 8.5 out of 10, probably a 9 out of 10. Nigel McGuinness as the color guy next to him is like a 9 out of 10, 8.5 out of 10.
My God, he might have the clothesline was unbelievable, and now Adam Cole has to climb to the top of the cage.
Morrow's tried to do this 2 or 3 times this match. Every time he hasn't been successful. Can he be successful this time?
We're going to find out as, oh my God, Adam Cole off the top.
I connected. He might be injured. You know, Beth Phoenix yells in the background, and you're like, wow, this just all comes together. And by the way, my voice is still fucked up, so you can obviously hear that, but I tried. and I would say that instead with Vic Joseph and with Wade Barrett and with Beth Phoenix, I think Beth Phoenix is the best in her spot, right? Now, she's the third mic, so she doesn't say much. But in the third mic spot, I would give her a very solid 8 or 9 out of 10. I really like her in the third mic spot. But in the second and first mic spot of Vic Joseph and Wade Barrett, I would give Wade Barrett probably a 7, and I would give Vic Joseph a 4. Like, so you have really downgraded because Morrow is so high up, and the only reason Morrow isn't a 10 or something is because he's not really able to interact in a wrestling style way with the other guy, or if you have a heel on commentary, he doesn't really seem to be able to do that. He just knows how to sound like he's calling a big match fight. And so whatever, but yeah, so different. The commentary is much different. I give a big thumbs up to Beth Phoenix and a thumb sideways up for Wade Barrett, and I give a big thumbs down to Vic Joseph only because he just sounds like he's just a robot. Like he could be working for SportsCenter. He could 100% be working for SportsCenter. It's Vic Joseph, and today the Indianapolis Colts faced off against the New England Patriots. The New England Patriots no longer with Tom Brady. Of course, this year a new record was set, and you're just like, blah, 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 you're good, but you're just like, you just look like a regular sports guy. I'm sorry.
Yeah, just one of the usual.
I think they hired Vic over me because of how tall he was. I swear to God, because when I stood next to Vic Joseph, my head ends at his shoulder because I'm 5'10", and Vic Joseph is like 6'3" or something. So, like, I think that they thought, like, you know what? You're too small. There's, you might sound better maybe. I don't know. But Vic just looks better. He's taller. We're going to hire Nosferatu. So I'll never let that go. I'll never forget that they hired this boring robot over me. And unfortunately for them, it's not that good. But so that's the one sort of downside to this whole night is the commentary is just nice. It's okay. Whatever. It was much better with Morrow and Nigel. But let's go back to the wrestling because the wrestlers did a great job tonight.
Yeah, we start right off, excuse me, I'm losing my voice too, with the Women's War Games match. I really liked the setup. The CWC looked great. The fact that they were able to fit both rings and have the cage on top. I like that they had their own small version of pyro with the sparks that were flying on the top with the air raid siren.
Yeah.
You know, the beacon lights. They just made it feel like this huge production value, and it paid off. It looked really, really impressive. The crowd was loud. I did get frustrated with the cage hitting the plexiglass. Like it looked like it was really loose in one spot.
Right.
And you could just, for some reason, once I noticed it, I couldn't stop hearing it. And it was only a small group of fans, but every like 10 seconds, ka-chink, ka-chink.
Whoa.
I just heard it over and over and over again.
Did you say?
I don't know what you heard.
Oh, it sounded like you made fun of well, never mind. Go ahead.
All right, but
Okay.
so we had the women go ahead start off, and Dakota Kai was in the ring already. She was the first one, and Ember Moon came in. Might be the outlier here, but I feel like Ember Moon played the least important role out of everyone here.
But she had
even though she was involved
started
in
this. She started the.
Even
match.
though she started it, I feel like she did the least impressive job. She was the standout of, the least impressive standout to me is what I'm trying to say here. Out of everybody, I feel like I'm not sure what it was, but
wow,
I just wasn't really impressed by what we saw from her.
So
compared
that's
to
so
maybe
weird.
I was expecting more from her than others.
Okay,
I think.
so I was expecting probably nothing from her myself, and so maybe that's why we're different. But I was surprised that she was given the spotlight to open the match. And then she really went out there and was the focal point of the beginning of the match. And then she got to do her diving stunner like crazy in the match. And that was it. But I thought that was a pretty big part for her to play in it. And aside from her cringy gyrations, like the whole fucking team had cringy gyrations to open the show up. Like Ember Moon's gyrations and acting and promos are just horrible. Like
when they were even them in the cage, they just looked kind of, I hate saying cringy, but just silly,
Yeah,
and like
she's
you
a
said,
very silly person.
The shaking, and they didn't. The only one that really looked serious initially was, well, I'll say Shotzi as well, but Rhea Ripley looked like ready to.
Even
mean
Rhea
business.
to me, like she cringes me out too. I'll just be honest. I think all the women look cringy as hell up until the match finally started. Then I was like, okay. Rhea's got they just have these mannerisms that are weird, but it just cringes me out. Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know. When people like Triple H and people like that would come out, I never thought like they're acting. I always thought like this guy is really coming out. This is really what's going on.
Well, that's what we saw in the main event. The men's team was definitely, both of them. They felt that way. They felt like they were really ready to engage in war. They dislike each other to the point that it took war games to solve their differences.
Yeah, and like even Ric Flair, would come out, and Ric Flair does crazy shit, and you just believe him. Macho Man come out, you really believe it. A lot of wrestlers come out and you really believe it. Even Sasha Banks. I'm going to use her as an example because we're talking about females. Sasha Banks comes out. When Sasha Banks comes out and she goes, and she does that thing, and then she does her little dance thing, like I believe that. But when Rhea Ripley comes out and like she does this weird, goofy like head rattle and like like it just looks goofy. It doesn't look real. It looks goofy as fuck. I don't know. So Rhea Ripley looks weird to me. I don't know why. Ember Moon with her little stares and her like I don't believe her either. She's weird. And so I don't know. Anyway, the whole face team came out. Shotzi's coming out in like a tank, with her.
The tank made sense because that played into the story.
Yeah, I mean, she's always come out.
Shotzi always came out with her tank that's dedicated to her brothers or brother or one of the other, her family at least. And she went ahead and had that destroyed by Candace, who ran it over in her gigantic SUV, more than dragged it than destroyed it at first. It was funny, but so she's been building a new tank this entire time. You've seen her for weeks now, working and building and building. So that was the unveiling tonight. So it fits with her character.
The good news is despite my little crotchety anger towards the goofy fucking presentation of some of these women, is the match was good, and it was fun to watch. So it was a great match for them. It was fun to watch. There were a couple times where obviously in a match like this, it just feels a little too like we planned this, we planned that. So that was a little problem there.
I felt like that happened more in the women's than the men's. The only spot I felt like that happened in the men's was when Pat jumped off the top.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The women's, I felt like they, obviously they had to catch Io when she finally was able to get into the match.
It was funny that she couldn't get in the match, too. That was kind of funny. She couldn't get in the ring. That was funny.
Yeah, I like that spot. Indy Hartwell stealing the, having the key, and then she put it down her shirt when she left. So that was funny. And but they really did clean house. They beat the hell out of each other, like you said, no doubt. They really. We've heard mixed things. I know the chat brought it up before that Candice might have had a broken wrist. We've seen that because she grabbed a chair to use as a shield, and when Shotzi was coming down, with a big senton on top of her, it looked like she hurt her arm. So I'm not sure, but the heels did get the win here, though, surprisingly enough to me. I had that backwards. I thought the face would have won here and the heels would have won in Pat's team. But good decision because the heels looked more serious and more deserving of a win. And they set themselves up by having Indy in her neck brace still come out and, be a difference maker. So yeah, I liked it.
That was kind of cool. Yeah, I liked it. Good. It was a good opening, good start.
It was not the greatest War Games match. I preferred last year's women's War Games match to this one, but I still liked it. I had fun. I enjoyed it. There was, no real boring lulls throughout the match. Even when the heels were, heavily dominating at times, it still didn't feel boring, thankfully.
Yeah, it felt pretty good for the most part. I was never bored during the women's.
Absolutely. Then we got into Ciampa, who looks like $1 million with his entrance. I really like the way he comes out now with the mask, and he looks like a Mortal Kombat character. Yeah,
he looked like Scorpion hybrid something else. And what's funny to think about is to think about when he had no music and he used to come out.
Moo.
Oh, shit. Oh my God. Holy shit.
This was a strange show for me. It was good show but somewhat inconsequential. I wish we had more title matches. Favorite match might have been the main event, but I really enjoyed the triple threat despite the shitty interference.
Yeah, I could have done without that. Aggressive Urinator JD, thanks for the $35. Holy shit.
Hell yeah, Aggressive Urinator JD. And we just had it confirmed. Triple H said that right now it's bumps and bruises out of everybody that you would expect. Candice is getting X-rayed, getting checked out. Possibly a broken arm. We're not sure yet. We'll see where that goes.
What?
That sucks.
Possibly a broken arm.
Yeah, like I said, that spot when she tried to protect herself with the chair. Silly spot to begin with, but yeah, it didn't land right and looked painful. And she was still, and there wasn't much left to the match after that, but she still had, a little bit to go. So
one of the things about Shotzi that I always notice when I see her is she's very gangly, like lanky, and she's a little bit goofy and I don't know, lanky. I don't know. She's a little bit off.
Yeah, long. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, she's a little bit off in there. She's not 100%, but
it's hard to evenly distribute your weight when you're uneven like that.
She's she's charismatic though, so that's the good thing about her. She's got this charisma.
They really seem like they want to put a lot behind her at this point. Well, she's been a real heavy focus.
Start training her better in the ring then if they want to do that. Let me tell you that. But she's good, but start training her.
Could always be better.
Yeah.
So yeah, we had Ciampa and Thatcher, and again, love this match. We get a lot of like chain wrestling, wrist locks, arm locks, to mat work in the beginning.
Yeah.
And then Thatcher starts, crushing Ciampa's throat with the bottom rope. And you see, Tommaso really sell that for a while with the injury because of his neck previously being repaired. And that's when they target the neck for most of this match, which always makes me uncomfortable, just, having neck surgery myself. And I did it with Daniel Bryan and a few others. When they come back from those type of injuries, you're like, oh God, every time they land harsh, or it's just, but he's okay if he's in there. But that's what made Thatcher so just evil and that kind of methodical nature of his. I enjoyed in this match. He focused on the surgically repaired neck, and the announcers sold that well. So,
and we got the match I think we got the match we expected, which was like, put Ciampa's gonna win, but Thatcher's gonna look like a crazy person in it, even though he loses.
And that's exactly what we got. And Ciampa bloodied up, his ear just pouring blood, hit with a bunch of German suplexes after that nasty elbow that essentially busted his ear open. And then again, Thatcher constantly, ripping into the ropes with Ciampa's neck. And that's when we go ahead and we get, the series of, just one after another of chop after chop. And then all of a sudden Ciampa's able to hit, Willow's bell and gets the pin. I really liked the ending because it was like out of desperation, almost like an RKO type moment. He quickly hit it, but he was still on top, yet he was beaten enough that, he could have lost soon enough. So it really showcased both individuals. I really liked this.
Yeah. Yeah, great match. I think it was probably, for me, one of the best matches of the night because it just accomplished all that stuff we talked about. And, Ciampa wins, and it was just the right length for me, too. It could have been a couple other little things that I would have liked to see and done that would have made it really explode to the top of everything. The blood really helped, though, by accident or not. The bleeding ear really kind of helped sell how physical the match was anyway. So, yeah, as far as beginning to end, that was the best match of the night. If you want, to me, as far as telling a story, having a match, beginning to end, that match was the most perfect to me. Maybe you thought the triple threat was more exciting, though, and maybe you thought the men's War Games was the best. I can definitely see that. But as far as being a perfect match or whatever you want to call it, I would say that match, though, was about as good as you could get. It was just missing a little bit more violence, maybe with chairs, put in the corners and thrown into the chair, or going outside, maybe someone getting hit with the bell, and a few little things outside and around the ring that I would have done to really enhance that more. But instead they went a little more with the grappling and a little more with the heavy hitting and stuff, which is fine. But I thought that match might have been an 8, an 8.5 or an 8. And
yeah,
I wonder if I can say that about another match in the night. So that's why I think that might be the match that did it for me. And overall, I think the show was a 7.5 out of 10, and it was a nice takeover. This takeover was in danger of potentially being whatever. A lot of people were saying that, I don't know if it's a very people thought it was a very short night and whatever. I think the weakest match was Grimes, the strap match. It's really hard to have a strap match, dude. No matter who you put in a strap match, it's always hard to make that thing work out.
It's hard, you get a lot of the same spots with whipping your opponent and choking them and kind of hanging, so you usually get the same things because you're limited, because you can only get it so far away, and
right.
There's only so much you can do to really be creative. They even went ahead and they showed, I always forget the ref's name, but it was the same referee that Grimes has been afraid of this whole time. That was the zombie at the Halloween Havoc. So they're continuing that story too. And so the ref originally comes over and he's trying to get Cameron to wear the strap, and he's not having it at all. And then he attacks Loomis before the bell ever rings. We get a bunch of throat punches, and he starts whipping him with the strap and beats him all the way around the ring. And finally, we get through this whole big onslaught. We get back to the inside, and they end up putting the strap on Loomis, and all right, the match begins. It was an okay back and forth. There just wasn't much to talk about, really, that I cared for. It wasn't bad. It just wasn't exciting. I don't really care for Grimes, and Loomis, going against him does nothing for me at this time. I don't find it interesting. As much as I like their match at Halloween Havoc, I preferred that just being a one-off.
Yeah.
Them continuing with this has done nothing for me personally, and someone might have liked this, but they kind of just traded blows for a while, and then they brought back out the blindfold, which is a terrible idea to remind us of that awful match. And we've said it before, blindfold matches only work when you have a packed audience to interact with. If the crowd isn't screaming, then it doesn't work. You shouldn't try these things during a pandemic.
Yeah, I don't know, it just didn't it wasn't a very good idea or match. The only thing I take from it is Dexter Lumis looks like Stone Cold Steve Austin. That's the only thing I can think. I'm like, he looks awesome. Like his look when he's like his fucking wide-eyed, like he looks like a straight-up murderer. And I like that. I like that Dexter Lumis looks like a psycho. And that's about it. Cameron Grimes sounds like Jimmy Hart, and Dexter Lumis looks like Stone Cold Steve Austin. That's about all I take from this match.
Yeah. And it felt long. It wasn't even that long. I think it was a little over 13 minutes. It's rough to that point.
I would have booked this 6 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just too long. It was, if it had been 6 minutes, I might have been like, what? That was a damn good 6 minutes. You know what I mean? That was really good 6 minutes. Strap match, breaking things up throughout the night. I probably would have, I don't know, man, hung the guy with the... I mean, it was interesting the way it ended. It was funny that he, tripped him, I guess, with the thing, and he lands on the chair, but...
Yeah, because he pulled the strap back, and that made Grimes go ahead and crash into the chair.
But it was a little bit of a comedy thing.
Yeah, which they try and incorporate with Grimes, but then they try and do serious things with him, too, and it's like you can't have both.
But also, Dexter Lumis should be this...
anti-comedy person.
Very serious, yeah.
Very straightforward and with this serial killer gimmick.
Like, I would think that Dexter Lumis would smash a chair over his head or tie the thing around his throat 1,000,000 times and then put him in a lock. And put him out.
That's kind of what we got at the end, but...
Right. But
it wasn't as brutal as it should have been. It should have been very visceral looking.
You had to have the banana peel slip thing first, though.
Yeah, see, and that's what really hurt this match. Even the Spanish Fly looked good, but you're like, and I should be impressed or should be like, oh, that was good. But I just didn't feel that way with this. I'm not sure if it was just a lack of story that really gave me no passion for it. But
by the way, I'm watching this Keith Lee behind the scenes 24 thing and listening to McMahon just he's going in on all this stuff for Keith Lee. Have you seen
he
this?
was gloating and so apparent. I can't wait to see it, but he was so excited for all these ideas with Keith Lee allegedly, and he wanted to do all these different things, and he was so high on Keith Lee. And
have you seen this yet?
No, not yet. I heard a little bits about it when it was previewed.
In some of the other ones like Kevin Owens, the one where Kevin comes back at WrestleMania, and then and Kevin's like, "What? So what'd you think?" And then Vince is like, he doesn't say anything.
He said it wasn't good.
He goes, "I didn't really. It wasn't what we needed." And then Kevin was like, "Are you serious?" Almost like Kevin Owens was like, "Are you serious?" And Vince was like, "Just it wasn't." And he didn't even want to talk to Owens. And Owens is like, "Oh my God, fuck." Vince hated it, and he won't even talk to me. So
with Jericho.
Yeah, and so those are really quick moments, but what I just saw on the 24/7 thing with Keith Lee was, Vince is cutting a promo for over a minute. So you're going to get to see some interesting comments from Vince when you guys go and watch this on the WWE Network at some point if you do.
You just sold it better than they ever could, that's for sure.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's what people want, is that behind the scenes look. That's why I like the Liv documentary to a certain extent. There were some things I wish they went and delved a bit deeper into some of her history, or at least her a bit more, but they wanted to focus on the Riot Squad. I saw what they were doing. It was a good watch though, and she certainly went through a lot, not having her father around, and her only mother with, I think she's one of 6 or 7 children total, they said. So big family. She's the only girl, all brothers. So it sounded, not easy, but
yeah,
that's the kind of things that they can really use to motivate the audience to care. And they don't capitalize on these things. Why do they have the Liv documentary out now when they're doing nothing with her at all? Same thing with Keith Lee. Is it to make you try and care about them? If that's the case, that's not a bad idea. But if they don't do something to follow up on it, what's the point?
I think that they just had time to come out here now anyway, so it would have came out no matter what.
Yeah, I wish they had, better foresight with some of their talent. There's ways that they can really capitalize on what they're doing with their stars. Liv came back, people were cheering her left and right. They couldn't wait for her to have this unveiling of her new character. They didn't go through with the unveiling of her new character, really. They kind of halted that. She fought Ruby Riott, and then she rejoined Ruby, and that's all we ever got from her. And meanwhile, she lost just about every single time we saw her as well. Really upsetting. Well, one of the things that I really did enjoy tonight was the NXT War Games toy set announcement. That thing looks so cool. I said to a few people on Twitter, I know Trailbound reached out immediately. I was like, that looks incredibly badass. My inner child would love to have had that for Christmas. I loved back, 8-9-year-old me with wrestling action figures, setting my rug on fire because I have to go ahead and have pyro when the wrestlers come out on stage, got to put sparklers on the rug and stuff, firecrackers. It always works well. Speaking of other things, we also hear that Elias might be having a bit of a character change. He was talking on Twitter in an update to his Universal Truthers. I laugh at that line. And he said the doctor told him that any shock like that would kill most men, but not Elias. He was able to be electrocuted, and, he might not be able to ever play guitar again, though. Well, that be damned. Elias said he regained function of his fingers, and he's now successfully playing again. But he did have visions while he was shocked, and he now knows his purpose in life. So I'm curious if he'll be some type of like preacher gimmick or something kind of akin to what they did with Rollins, the Monday Night Messiah thing. So he'll be like a singing preacher. I'm not sure if that's what they're going with or if he's just going to be a bit crazy and delusional. Yeah, either way, we'll see what happens. But like Eddie said, Elias the Flat Earther, we'll see what they do. And then right after or during the toy tease, we saw the Karrion Kross footage that happened. So we saw a bit of like a raven and, a clock. And I believe we saw like a dictionary that said the word apocalypse. There was a few things. So, and then TikTok was set over the promo. So obviously it's Karrion Kross. He'll be coming back. He was taken out of action with a separated shoulder back at NXT TakeOver 30. He won the title from Keith Lee and then had to vacate it shortly after. So then WWE had the Iron Man match to determine a winner, and that ended in a tie. So then they had their actual match to determine, and Finn Balor won the NXT Championship. When he defended against Kyle O'Reilly, he got his jaw broken, so Finn's been out on the shelf. Finn said that he will be there this coming Wednesday, and the show will be focused heavily on him. So that's a good thing. We'll get him back. Hopefully he can be back in action as well. Real YT, Vulture. Hey, yeah, that makes more sense than a Raven. So, but all in all, I'm excited to see them two face off, and it will likely be at the New Year's show that they announced. So New Year's Evil 2021. And that'll be on January 6th. It'll be on NXT. So that's really cool that they announced that. That'll give us, something a month away exactly to look forward to. I'm all about that. And other little update, we did say before, but it looks like Candice LeRae is legitimately injured. When she pulled the chair on top of herself to kind of protect herself when Shotzi was coming down, she might have broken her arm. We're awaiting x-ray results, Triple H said. So he did confirm she is injured, but we're not sure exactly what happened. And yeah, Ness, I legit, used to cause my grandmother hell, all for the wrestlers to have their actual entrances. Also tonight, we got Austin Theory returned. So we saw him on the main roster not that long ago, and then, hey, they pulled him from Raw. They kind of sent him back to NXT, and he just sat there. They didn't do anything, but now he's back. When he did come back, he was just very, very quickly there. But that leads us to our next match that we had tonight, which was the NXT North American Championship Triple Threat. The champion, Leon Ruff, taking on Johnny Gargano and Damian Priest. I wasn't expecting anything, mind-numbing or fantastic from this, but they delivered a pretty intelligent story, and booking-wise, I like where they went with it. So I'm intrigued to see what happens going forward, especially since Johnny cannot retain championships. Is he going to lose again, or will outside help him break that streak? That's something to, kind of see where they're going with. So right away, Ruff's trying to get in on Gargano. He's hitting Johnny with Hurricane Ranas and, kind of shoving Priest to the side. And then Priest yells at him and says, just get out of my way. And he tosses Ruff to ringside. And, they start really focusing on Priest and Gargano here, and all of a sudden Ruff gets upset because he really wants to be involved in the match. And that's kind of been the story going on here, is Priest just used Ruff to get back at Johnny, and helped him, lose his title just to, piss over the bad guy. Lo and behold, Ruff, in the meantime, really feels like I am the rightful champion, which he is. He won it fair and square, essentially. And, he starts yelling at him, Leon, come on. And now Ruff starts chopping him, and Priest is no-selling it. So I like the back and forth they have going on here. Now, all of a sudden, they fight to the outside, and, we get some slingshot spears for a quick 2 count beforehand. And that's when we get the Razor's Edge into the barricade. That's right. Damian Priest lifts him up, and he sends Ruff through the outside, right through the barricade, knocks it down, takes out the plexiglass. The referees run to check on Priest, who's very apologetic. He's saying, I'm sorry, a couple of times. And then all of a sudden, Johnny capitalizes on this and hits
sorry I
Priest
was born.
with a huge tornado DDT.
He was sorry he was born. He was sorry he was born. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm not crazy about him. I'm really not.
You know
about
what,
Damian Priest?
You know what I liked about him was his sell when he got hit at Halloween Havoc and fell off the stage. He got hit. And then,
yeah, he really sold that quite well.
That was really good. Like that looked. I don't know, man. That looked awesome.
He's not bad. I'm not crazy about him. They haven't done enough to put him over in my eyes. So I'm not connecting with his character.
Okay.
I think is part of the problem here.
He's just a big guy who wrestles. I don't know.
Yeah, he just feels very vague in general at this point. He looks like I like some of the things he did with him jumping in the hot tub after he won the title and having this huge celebration. And there were glints and glimmers of character traits for him that were seeming to be more of an individual. He wasn't so samey as everybody else. And now they kind of strayed away from that. So the only thing driving him is the title at this point, which at least he has one motivation, but it's nothing great.
Yeah, I guess I don't understand. It sounds like he's like just waiting for the night to be over so he can go to the bondage party or something like that that we don't know.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So they eventually, no surprise to anyone, Ruff, who they said they were going to have to clear from the ring, and the champion's no longer able to compete. The champion advantage is gone. Blah blah blah. They're trying to sell it on commentary. That Ruff's going to come back. Eventually, he does. Starts to attack Priest, and Gargano just hits him with a big lawn dart. We end up getting, which I always love this move, the sliced bread popped out from Johnny. That was cool.
Standing sliced bread. That was crazy.
Looked excellent. And then the ghost faces show up, and Priest manages to fight off even the heavyset guy who only had the hoodie on, not the robes. I laughed at that. He probably didn't fit on, poor guy into the robe, so they just sent him out there in a black hoodie. But he takes out 2 ghost faces, then another one shows up, then 3 more. So now so far he's taken out 6. And then Ruff hits Gargano with a huge frog splash and almost steals the win here. And that's when Priest comes back, breaks up the pin, really close near fall. We saw a near fall earlier on too. That was like 2.99 tenths of a second. It was essentially a 3.
It sounded like It sounded like it was a 3. I remember thinking, shit,
it almost was a botch, but I would love to go back and slow that down.
Yeah.
But that was super close.
I was picking something up and eating at the same time, and as I was watching that, and I went, oh shit, like it's over. And then I went, oh no, like I thought it was over. I really did think it was over. So
yeah, I thought that was it for it. And after the ghost faces kind of start to recapitalize, one of them goes ahead and hits Priest with it was like supposed to be like a metal pipe, and cracks him in the back. Gargano gets, and sees Ruff coming around and hits him with a super kick, and then we get the one final beat, and that's it. Johnny Gargano is your new champ. And then we see that, lo and behold, as I said before, it was Austin Theory, and he said, "It was me, Austin. It was me all along." I thought that was funny, a fun little callback. And they told a really good story here with, Priest kind of undermining Ruff. It wasn't anything groundbreaking, but it was enjoyable. I got a bit more out of this match than I expected. I'm just still not sold with Priest and his character. I'd probably give this one like a 6.5, maybe a 7.
Stop! Jesus Christ. What the fuck?
I don't know what happened there.
I have to turn my phone off is all.
Gotcha. One of those moments.
Yeah, no, so originally it looked like Johnny Gargano was going to win this. With the big rumor was they were just going to give the belt back to Johnny Gargano. That way it's like, oh, he gets it back. But then, we started speculating on other things, and this was probably the most wrong in my predictions of any match of the night.
Yeah, me as well. I thought Priest would take it back here was my guess.
I think we just thought, it really looks good for Priest to get the belt back. They did the thing they wanted to do last time. That was crazy and fun. Giving it back to Gargano, it's like, well, then why take it from him?
Yeah, because they want to keep up the story that he can't defend the belt. So now they're going to try and do everything they can, I bet, to get him to try and not have to defend the title. Because every time he defends a belt, he loses it. That's like the continuing gag story with him. So they're going to try and have to break that curse, per se, at this time.
But it's like, to me, it's like, why not just have him be the champion?
Yeah, it's not a great story.
I don't understand
what I was getting at, but it's something. And at least they kind of... I'm curious, if it was just Austin Theory, then who were the other 5 ghost faces?
Yeah.
I wonder if they're ever going to explain that. If not, that's a big plot hole and a problem.
Well, there are a couple hookers. He gave him a breakfast. And
At least say it's somebody I hired from the Performance Center, and I'll go with it. Something.
Ruff came to the thing. They showed him getting to the building earlier in the day, and he looked like a goof. Right when I saw him, I went, oh, that guy's losing. I mean, we already thought he was losing anyway, but... He was coming into the arena or something, and they had a video of him, and he was just like... I can't even do the impression of what he looked like.
That's how bad it was.
Do they have that?
It wasn't even a 15 minutes of fame. It was literally for him just a failed experiment, sadly. This isn't going to elevate him. Hopefully they'll try and capitalize on, I'm a former NXT North American champion. Have him go for the Cruiserweight title. Have him, make something out of this short title run for him. At least it's a footnote in your career. Now use it as a stepping stone. I don't think they'll capitalize on it, but I hope they do, because if not, what was the point? Like you said, just to get the belt off Johnny quick and away from Priest. All right, so Johnny gets the belt back. He loses at the defense because he can't retain. You told a funny story, but now what? He's going to lose every time?
Yeah, I don't get it either. I'm lost.
I'm curious where they go from here. It's not riveting, but it's not awful.
I would have put it back on Priest and let Priest kind of carry this North American title, and then I would have had maybe Gargano blames Ruff for the fact that he lost, and then Ruff is like, dude, I won the belt. You lost it. Like, you're good at losing it. You lost again. At least I won it, the last time. And then they could have maybe had a feud with Ruff and Gargano, and then Priest could have carried the title and helped Priest out a little bit. But instead, I don't know. Maybe it will make sense, and there'll be this big push with it with Gargano and
A little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Robbie Hyde.
Look at this stuff. A little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Please make a new blackface donation with the Stang theme. It's such good shit. Also, you guys think Cross will get the title back right away against Balor?
I would think you would give this guy the belt back, but I wonder if he's gonna try to go after Balor, but then he'll get intercepted by something else, and he'll have to face somebody else again before he comes back for the belt. So I think maybe that will happen.
Chat party.
Jacob RP coming in with the $1, man. What up, Jacob? Thank you, Jacob. And Robbie Hyde, thank you. But yeah, I don't know, man. I would assume he would probably go for the belt pretty quickly, but you also got to assume that they know it's like, well, this guy's won the belt already, so they're going to know that we're giving the belt right back to the guy, so I don't know how obvious they're going to make it, or plus but then again, I don't know, maybe Balor's like, nah, man, let me put this guy over or whatever. But then Balor needs to be put over, it feels like. But he doesn't, so maybe that's
Balor's likely, I think, going to lose to Cross.
Yeah, so right away, he's going to lose it then.
Yeah, I think that's what's going to happen. I think Balor will lose, and they'll go back to the story that they did have planned for Cross before he got injured.
Right.
Chat
Most likely.
party.
God, I miss Mauro. I miss the Mama MIA at takeovers. Could be just me. Anyway, really enjoyed that main event. Looks like Yuri is here to stay in NXT.
Thanks, Abdul. Yeah, it looks like that. And, I mean, the Mamma Mia stuff, sometimes it cringed me a little bit, some of Moro's stuff. But, oh my God, Mauro Ranallo, 1,000 times better than the commentary.
It was so
we
fun
get
to
now.
listen to him, Joe, with Snoop Dogg commentating.
Oh, that was great. Yeah.
And Snoop, I didn't know if I wanted him to shut up or never stop talking.
Yeah.
At first I was so frustrated with him. I'm like, oh, I hope he stops, because he was saying crazy shit. And then all of a sudden he got like super crazy, and it was just hilarious.
But not only that,
he was coming out with.
He was also
it was informative
knowledgeable
too. Like, it wasn't.
Yeah,
off
he was knowledgeable.
Yeah, his delivery though, like, all the swearing you're not used to. Yeah. And it was nuts. I loved it.
Fuck this man up. Oh my God. Oh. Holy shit.
Hey Joe and Jake. I'm a long-time supporter and older wrestling fan. I don't watch shit WWE anymore, just tear you. Keep bringing truth and the trolls can go to hell.
Oh, The Game. Thank you for the $10. Yo, Game, thank you, man, for being a long-time guy and for chiming in with a couple of bucks, man. Thank you so much. Definitely helps out. At Christmas time, I had to do Walmart shopping earlier. That was scary. The Game. Thank you, Game. Yeah, man. I thought Snoop Dogg was... Yeah, it was like, he was like, man, he's what we would call a bitch ass. We call him a bitch ass. Then we'd punch him in the throat back in the day. I was like, fucking, I love Snoop Dogg. Please hire him.
Eat our own shitty in Philly, we're gritty, yo, this whole city, we're gritty, yo, we might eat our own shitty, yeah. Eat our own shitty, in the city of Philly, we eat shitty, we're gritty as can be, we can survive off our motherfucking own PCs. In Philly, we're gritty, in Philly, we're gritty, this whole city, we'll eat our own shitty in Philly. That's why our mascot looks like a...
I like how everyone who doesn't watch NXT every week shat on this show. I liked most of the matches in some fashion. I give tonight a 7. Also, fuck you, Dwelsh, you disfigured thumbhead looking son of a bitch.
Oh.
I hope you die in a tire fire accident.
Holy shite.
Oh my God. Wow. I mean, listen, I did hear a lot of people like shitting on the show before it happened. I haven't heard anybody really shit on it tonight. I could be wrong. I didn't hear necessarily people shit on the show tonight, but I did hear people shitting on the show as far as like, oh, it's not going to be that good, and oh, who cares, really? I heard that, but I never thought that. I always thought like, should be all right. Let's see what happens. And it was good. So, anybody shitting on it, I don't understand that at all. Harry Steve, thanks for the $8. I mean, tonight was better than the bad All Out. The AEW All Out or whatever it was. It was one... AEW Double or Nothing was better than this. But I think it was All Out. Hell yeah! It wasn't good.
New Year's Evil, we all know Cross and Scarlett are coming back. What about Aleister Black return to NXT that night also?
Yeah, that makes sense. Eazy-E. It's one of those relaunching points, right, where they basically name a pay-per-view after somebody, where the whole theme is going to be about this guy's return. But you don't...
I'd be all about that, with him going back to NXT. Hell yeah.
Yeah. So Eazy-E, thank you, man. The Game, Harry Steve, Eazy-E, thank you for those donations. Yeah, so it sounds like a relaunch for him. So yeah, nice. That's classic stuff right there. You don't really know it's about him, but it's going to be about him. And a lot of people know, but maybe some other people don't know, I don't know. But most people should be able to figure it out, I suppose. But we'll see what happens. Logan Paul is going to die. Yeah, so Logan Paul is going to fight Mayweather, which is hilarious.
Oh, my God. What a disaster. If anything, I'd rather see his brother fight, and I can't stand either one of the Pauls. I despise both of those bastards.
Well, who's fighting, Jake or Logan?
Logan's fighting, and he just got beat by KSI. So,
but wait a minute. Why wouldn't Jake Paul fight?
That's what I was figuring. He was just on the Tyson undercard.
I thought it was Jake. I thought he was fighting Jake Paul.
Unless I'm crazy, I thought it was Logan.
Oh my God! But Logan sucks. Jake at least like beat somebody.
Jake, I figured Jake would have not a chance, but at least a better. I don't even want to say a shot, but maybe a better showing. I don't think anybody's beating
Oh my
Mayweather,
God!
though.
Oh, see, I thought
no
I thought,
amateurs beating Mayweather.
I thought Jake Paul, who just beat Nate Robinson, was going to fight Mayweather, but you're telling me it's the other brother.
It's the other brother, Logan, the older one,
The one that
suicide
sucks.
forced one.
Really?
Yeah, that one.
Oh God, Logan Paul sucks.
Yeah, that's why I was not thrilled for this news.
I
and
mean,
you figure if the other YouTube boxing stars out there that would have a shot to get this, KSI undefeated, you figure he would go against Mayweather, or
no, I
know it's all about connections and who you know.
No, they picked a white guy because they've got a black guy's got to now knock out a white guy because you can't let this image of this white guy just knocking Nate Robinson out like a bitch. You know, now we've got
money for Nate.
We
he made a ton of money, I'm sure, so he doesn't care about getting knocked out that much.
No. Mayweather was like, nah, man, we got to get a brother to knock out a white guy now. This ain't fucking cool. We can't let that stand. We can't let that meme be everywhere. We got to equalize this.
And he'll knock him out.
You know what? He might knock him out, but normally that's not how Mayweather fights, but he might knock this guy out.
Usually he's very conservative and he just, runs the rounds.
He usually, I'm a rope-a-dope, I'm going to get away. Well, come and get me, come and get me.
Best evasion and making his opponents
Thanks for the $100 pay-per-view buy.
Exactly. I mean, 50 for the Tyson one. God knows what this will be.
But dude, watch him just fucking knock out Paul. Just be like,
that's what I'm saying. Just for spite, you're coming into my world. You're making a mockery of boxing. Teach him a lesson.
Slap this Paul around, and then the best thing about that is then he can fight the brother, right? Because now, okay,
he'll take out Jake, and Jake will be the revenge story. So they'll have some bad blood there. They can sell the press conference and the pay-per-view off of the revenge story, and then he gets his ass kicked.
The racial revenge.
Jake wants Conor McGregor in the worst way.
Yeah, I mean, let's watch those two guys go at it.
That I think would be fun.
Well, because I don't think I don't think any Pauls could beat Mayweather. So
no way in hell.
No Pauls can beat Mayweather, and Conor McGregor couldn't beat Mayweather. So, all right, let's have the battle of second place. Same couple of dudes who run their mouth like they talk like major shit. Jake Paul and Conor McGregor. So why not put the two fucking big mouth white guys against each other? That makes sense.
That's why I wanted Jake to lose all those times, and he keeps winning, and it's like, damn it. We want to see him get his comeuppance, but it's not happening. Not yet. Then he's now Logan will get beat up instead.
It's like, dude, I actually had you actually had interest in the Conor McGregor fight with Mayweather. You were like, I'm actually kind of interested in that. Like, this could be
such an outlandish idea of someone, from the top of one sport and the other sport, them meeting up and the way they did it. It was very intriguing, no doubt.
I'm convinced that
money was insane for both of those parties. They were hand over fist pulling in bags. So
I don't think Logan Paul will land many punches. Like Mayweather will literally avoid a massive amount of punches. Like, I don't even think it's at all a concern. Like, Mayweather, it could be... I'm convinced that it could be the year 2030, and Logan Paul could be the same age he is now. And I still don't think that he would be able to land very many punches.
I would love to see Tyson take on either Paul brother. In an exhibition that they did the other day.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Would be entertaining.
But see, I think
they would be a straight up murder.
No, I think that Roy Jones Jr. was really gassed early on. I don't think Jake Paul would have been that gassed in the first 3 rounds because he's much younger. So I actually think Jake Paul would do a better job against Tyson. But I think Tyson could still beat him. We're talking about a 60-something-year-old
Tyson.
Yeah, I mean, Tyson looked like he had the form and the technique that yeah, he looked like he lost a step, and he looked like he didn't have quite the power, and he wasn't moving around as ferocious, but what he was doing was really technical. Like what
it was very impressive. Like still, he looked very efficient.
Like there were these combinations coming up out of Tyson, and he was stick, move back, forward, back, and like these combinations that were coming out of Tyson were like, whoa. You know, Roy Jones Jr. had a lot more like Marvelous Marvin, do-si-do around, but Tyson
he was
really
clinching the entire time, just trying to avoid getting hit because he said how bad those punches hurt.
Yeah, man, he was, no matter what, Tyson was throwing heavy punches.
He was lighting him up.
So, like, obviously I think Jake Paul would be able to move around a little bit better than Tyson, but Tyson's just those hammers that he's throwing.
Here we go.
Boom.
Money talk.
The game is back.
And been watching you guys since the start. Haven't been able to donate until now, but as a wrestling fan that has fond memories of the way things used to be, thanks for the honesty, guys.
Woo!
Keep it up and bring on 2021. Been a shit year.
Thank you, sir. The game with the $13. Here comes the money. Sugar Shane McMahon. He's ready to go, brother. Thank you, Game. Good to hear from you, man. Glad you've been watching all those years. That's sick.
Hell yeah.
King James in the chat says Roy was running low-key. He kind of was, man. I mean, dude, the best was after the fight, right? After the Tyson fight, when they were like, oh, it's a draw. And Tyson's like, well, I think I won, but, with fine, whatever. And then Roy Jones Jr. was like, I definitely won, And it was like, what? They're both saying they won. And then Roy was like, so you guys will fight again? And Roy Jones Jr. was like, well, I have to talk to my family and stuff, and he's punched, those hurt, man. Like, and it was like, come on, dude, you were fucking surviving out there. You were come on,
holding on for dear life.
Unbelievable.
There were times where he latched on to Tyson as if it was, the Titanic going overboard. He was holding on for everything he had left.
Absolutely,
Tyson
dude.
Clearly won that.
Oh, it was so.
I'm not saying Jones looked, he was very impressive for his age, and they both did well.
He got a second win too. Another person would have passed out by the fourth round. He got this weird second wind, so I give him that. But he clearly lost that fight. I mean, come on.
Yeah, no doubt. They just made it a draw because of the whole sportsmanship. They wanted that type of conduct between the two, and I'm sure it was in their contract that neither man would want to lose since it wasn't an official fight. It was just an exhibition.
I'm sure that they were like, we're gonna try not to have a knockout, and no matter what at the end we can say like it's a draw no matter what.
Well, the card, the way their judges scored it didn't even make sense for the rounds. It just didn't seem logical. It's like, all right, I think it was the fourth or fifth round that I was like, I could maybe see Roy getting 9-8, but the way they did it, it seemed rigged. That was the point behind it I was getting at. For my small knowledge of boxing, I watch as a casual fan, it just didn't seem like that should have been a draw.
Oh, of course not. I mean, listen, anybody, even somebody who didn't really know boxing at all, could watch that and say that. I mean, that was a layup. That was anybody should know. If there was judges and watch the fight, they would obviously think Tyson won. Nobody thought.
Absolutely,
there's nobody that thought that was a draw. So. If they asked you, would you fight Mayweather or Tyson? Jesus. Real YT, that's interesting. I would probably want to, in a way, I'd want to fight Tyson because he's old and shit, but I don't think so because it's still too dangerous. I think I would want to fight Mayweather because Mayweather is more of a defensive fighter. Mayweather is defensive. He's my size. You know what I mean? I think I'd rather fight Mayweather because there's less of a chance of me being like severely injured. And I think I could, try to get to Mayweather. And at least if I lost, I'd be in the fight. By the end I could say I was in it. I was throwing punches. He got me maybe. Whatever. But Tyson,
they should. But
you're not going to get close to Tyson without taking shots. You're going to take
that's
blows.
the risk and reward. Can you hurt him by the time he hurts you?
And I'm betting that I'm going to bet that Roy Jones Jr. is probably tougher than Joe Cronin. Probably a tougher guy.
Yeah, I know I would get hurt regardless of who I was fighting, and I know that Mayweather would just drag it out for a long time and make my, lack of cardio even more embarrassing.
Yeah.
So at least Tyson would just knock me out quick.
Right, and you could be a highlight of Tyson's then.
Yeah, just
right
down. Look at the drool.
Yeah, dude. Oh, Glenn White brings up a good point. If Tyson catches a flashback, you might die.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah,
I'll fuck you till you love me. No.
It's like, well, dude, listen. I know Tyson did a lot of drugs back in the day, and I have a friend who's kind of become psychotic, like for real. It's not a joke. He's really
built up in your spine, isn't that?
Yep. He sometimes he triggers and he snaps, bro, and he becomes like psychotic. And
neck and just start tripping out.
Have you ever seen? There's a couple of interviews with Mike Tyson where things aren't even going wrong, and Tyson starts to just kind of get wild-eyed. It starts to get crazy, like Tyson will be like, "Oh man, it's good to see you. I've been waiting for a long time to talk to you, and I like you." And then like they're hugging and stuff, and then like towards the middle of the fucking interview, Tyson's like eating peanuts, and he's like, "Well, it's funny because I thought you said you didn't need to do that, but now you're saying that, huh? All right."
Oh, passive aggressive.
And then like then the fucking guy, the other host guy, is like, well, so I mean, tell us about, your time with whatever. And then Tyson just starts eating the fucking peanuts and staring at him. And then he's like, Mike, do you really think, he should go back into doing that as a job? And Mike's like, I don't give a fuck what he does. I was like, what the fuck? And even the guy's like, what? And then all of a sudden he snaps out of it. And he's like, man, I remember that. I brought you over there. We had a time. And you're like, Jesus Christ. So you see, like, be like, no, we'll go out there. I'll take it easy. You take it easy. And we're like out there boxing. Tyson's like, whatever. Then all of a sudden he goes, what the fuck you say about my fucking mother? The fuck you say? Oh, I didn't say nothing about your mother, Tyson. Fuck it, I'll eat your asshole out, motherfucker. I'll eat your asshole out. Fuck your kids in front of you, motherfucker. Oh my God. No, Mike, I didn't say that. I can't even do Tyson because my throat's so fucked up. Dude, there's people telling me they think I have like polyps in my throat and my vocal cords and shit. But I don't know about that.
Think you haven't been able to rest it yet. So every time
I still
you start
can't.
To heal, you do something, or you have a long stream, or you do some voices, and it kills you again.
Don't make me eat your asshole out, okay? Don't make me eat your asshole and rape your mother. Motherfucker, I will rape your mother. Like, yeah, he would just go crazy.
He would go totally nuts. Oh, speaking of crazy, WWE, not crazy enough, but I after all this time, they re-aired last year's TakeOver War Games, and they removed Britt Baker from the replay with her, reaction to when Adam Cole goes through the table and she's holding her face. Yeah, they removed that out of the network.
They should just cover up her face. That'd be funny. Just cover her face right up.
I mean, she was holding her face, and it wasn't like a huge deal. I think they should have just left it.
Yeah, maybe.
I guess she works for another company, but it wasn't like she was in her ring attire or wrestling a match, or she's sitting there in the crowd. That should be a good thing. Be like, our wrestling's so good, they have to come watch it. I wouldn't get rid of it. I'd turn that into a positive.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see.
I was just looking at Psycho Kaz and Dylan having a brawl in the chat. They're
back
really,
and forth, boy.
I mean, they both kind of talking shit to each other, so I really can't do anything about it. I mean,
it's been pretty even.
Yeah,
match.
I mean, like Psycho Kaz was like hating on NXT, but it's like, well, why? But then then Dylan was like, well, fuck you. And then he was like, well, fuck you. And now they're like, fuck each other. And now they're like, ban him. And it's like, well, I mean, you kind of both just talking shit about each other. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, we could just time you both out.
GMTA in the chat goes, Roy Jones Jr. is probably a tougher guy than Joe Cronin. Probably. Joe Cronin. Probably is a tougher guy. I don't do well after I get hit a few times. Like I usually, like especially with the concussion stuff.
Does anybody?
No, I know, but I mean, like, so I have to really.
I can't get hit. I'd be done for. I got hit in the head, my brain's all put together with a titanium mesh net.
Yeah.
I'd be fucked.
I have to hide a lot. I'd have to duck and make sure I got out of there. You know what I mean? So like I would, I'd
have to go out there wearing a really protective Tarr helmet to start.
Yeah, like Roy Jones Jr. was standing after the Tyson fight, talking, and talking. I wouldn't have been standing,
but able to still discuss what's going on.
I would have fucked up at some point and gotten hit with one of those Tyson shots, but to the face.
I'd be blown up just walking to the ring.
Well, yes, yeah. I mean, I probably would too. I mean, even if I'd trained, because the adrenaline.
I can't get a cart. You guys can't wheel me there. Oh, damn it!
You know what? One of my favorite punches to throw is that sort of. One of my favorite things to throw is the one where I always did this, where you kind of drop down like you're trying to avoid a punch, but you throw over the top, like you're looking away and then throwing over the top of your head, and you catch them in the face and the jaw when you're not even it looks like you're bailing, but you're actually throwing this wild shot. So
it's as if you're going low for an uppercut, but really you're going over.
Yeah, so, that's one of my favorite things because nobody fucking sees that coming.
I wouldn't see that coming. I wouldn't expect, if you're going low, I would look down more so that would respond to getting hit over. I'd be waiting for you to come upwards.
I love that. And if nothing's working too, the slide step, when you slide into somebody and you uppercut, when you slide into them, they expect this. They expect that, even this to an extent, and that, and this, and even the left hand. They expect all that stuff. But if you drop down on an average person, just an average person who doesn't have any skills at all, and you throw that overhang shot, they don't see that shit coming. And if you kick somebody in the head in a real fight, if you kick somebody, they don't see kicks coming either. They don't, especially standing kicks. Like if you're showing hands and you're moving and you throw your leg up into their head, just people don't see that coming. Like average people don't see that coming. It's such a big thing. To anybody out there, I would say,
oh my God,
you don't
I'm so
see that
horny.
shit coming.
Oh my God, I'm so fucking horny. Oh my God, I'm so fucking horny. Happy fucking birthday. Oh my God, so fucking horny. Oh my God, so horny. Oh my God, so horny. Happy birthday. Oh, honey, honey, honey. Donation, time. Put it in my round bum.
Probably dislocate my arm if I threw that punch now.
Merry Christmas, skies.
Yeah!
Can you give a quick shout out to my son California? He loves the show also.
What up, California?
I think it's just Cal. But
oh yeah, he wrote
read it out.
He wrote Cal and it read California.
What? I love our AI assistant. But hey, Cal, Merry Christmas to both you and the game. Awesome.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, Cal. What's going on? Thank you, guys.
One of my favorite donations.
And that is one of the best ones. And this is from a movie in Japan.
Yeah, Bashful Machine Gun Girl or whatever.
Yeah, Bashful Machine Gun Girl. Yeah, it's something like that.
It's something. Every time she gets shy, the machine gun protrudes from her ass. It's hilarious.
Oh, I get shy again.
You embarrassed me. Oh, no. You start shooting. It's great.
Dude, what is... We got to get EdsView to rent that or something or whatever, but I don't know. It's got to be available in Japanese stores everywhere, right, EdsView? Come on.
Yeah, I haven't found the full movie, just that clip.
California. It's the Wizard. The Wizard. Don't they want to go to Arcadia or something like that? I don't know. It's coming right out of her bunghole. Remember when EdsView went to 7-Eleven in Japan to show us the difference of their 7-Eleven? I was so pissed. Yeah. It drives me nuts because their 7-Eleven is missing some of the coolest shit that our 7-Eleven has, but yet their 7-Eleven has some of the coolest shit that our 7-Eleven doesn't have. And I'm like, that drives me nuts because I would infuse both together to make the best 7-Eleven you've ever seen in your life. But either way, I mean, the 7-Eleven in Japan was pretty cool. But it was also a lot like ours.
You had so much of a variety compared to what we had here. It already felt like 7-Eleven was an endless convenience store here.
Yeah.
And they had so much more there.
Let's bring in Shy God. He was in here a minute ago. He wanted to say something. And
there we go.
Shy God, what's up, dude?
War Games.
Hey, Shy God 97, man.
What's going on, man? Hey, listen, we're going to be going down to Madam's Whorehouse, and we're going to be playing horror games later. It's going to be good.
Horror games?
Horror games.
Hey, guess what, man? Fuck the Undisputed Era. They're going to be fucking broken up before they get to the main roster anyways.
Yeah, all these people, none of these guys matter. It's true. Once they get to the main roster, it's done.
We are going to see the Disputed Era eventually. Either it'll be Cole and O'Reilly as a team, Fish and Strong are the bad guys, or they'll just break them all up, or they'll move them up. But I don't see them. I don't see them staying in this iteration long. Something's going to change soon.
Well, that's too bad.
I could be way off, but from everything that we've read for the past few months, I know the pandemic changed some of their plans because they already wanted to call up Adam Cole and they wanted to make Cole and O'Reilly face, and then Fish and Strong be the heels, and then Cross getting hurt changed some of their plans too. So now with him coming back, I could see them not being together, which I would rather them just kind of pull a New Day and just go their own way, but not break up.
It's gonna be terrible anyways, because the way they look at these guys right now as tag teams, there's no tag teams on the main roster anyway. So they're gonna split Adam Cole, Bobby Fish, everybody's gonna get split regardless.
Well, Adam Cole, yeah, he would be a good singles wrestler. Jinder Mahal said the same thing in the chat.
Exactly.
And so, but I mean, you saw it a bit tonight when O'Reilly and Fish were together. Redragon is a thing of beauty. So if we got them on the main roster, we always say this when we get, it will happen when we get AOP. It'll happen when we get, time and time again, we've seen people come up and we're like, oh, this tag team will save us. The Revival will save us. DIY, and we don't get it. Thankfully,
American Alpha.
NXT, they didn't have to stay up on the main roster, but time and time again, we've just gotten tag teams to go to anybody from NXT, they get ruined. So Sanity. I have no faith. Yeah, Sanity. I mean, I'd rather not see Undisputed Era go up as a team because there's no one as a foursome for them to really face. What are they going to do? Every week face the Hurt Business and that's it?
Oh, no, just face New Day. Just face New Day and then do single team. This fucking just, I hate the goddamn main roster, man.
I'm not thrilled with any of it, but
I just don't understand it. I just don't understand. It's like a faction. This faction right here is the best faction that's been established.
The best faction.
Since. Like it's just unnecessary. Like they just break up tag teams over and over again. Every time you get the main roster, they just break up a tag team, or they get injured,
and then they put them back in the team.
You see the Sanity, right? Sanity.
Yeah.
They weren't even used. They were not used. Just like the damn.
Forgotten Sons as well. Now they're back,
exactly.
But they're without what's his name?
The guy that just was going for Trump or something like that.
Yeah, I always forget his name. Not Cutler, right?
Gunner.
Oh yeah, Gunner or something. Yeah, he made the mistake of tweeting.
See that?
What did he tweet? He tweeted, "God bless the country and our president" or something like that.
God bless America, Trump, some shit like that.
Yeah.
And then he got fired. Oh, not fired, just.
I still don't get that. Like, I'm not like a redneck patriot person, but like,
it was the context of timing that was against him because
that's right.
During all the massive protests. So when he said that, it was basically
wrong timing.
Yeah, his way. Like people construed it as FBLM. Like that's how they took it.
And I'm black. So I never understood that. It was like
I don't think that was his intention at all, but it still was kind of Jackson Riker. There we go. Thank you guys.
That guy.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't care. I mean, because normal people don't care. Like, they just go, okay, yeah, people do that. I don't fucking care.
Yeah, man. Jackson Wright is like Batista was talking shit about him. All of the WWE stars were talking shit about him. It was just weird at that time. And plus, the riots were happening at that time. It was just a weird timing for everybody.
Yeah.
It was. Yeah, I remember that.
It's like, I think, like, I don't know, man. Like, some people would call me, like, a bitch or whatever, but I mean... I don't know. I probably wouldn't have said anything either. I would have just been like, all right, well, I'm going to stay out of this.
Quiet as a fucking church mouse.
Yeah, I'm going to stay out of this and let, it's not my time to speak up right now. So I would have said nothing, but that's me. But basically because he spoke up, that's why he's in trouble, because people said, it's not your time to be speaking. But I can't agree with that. I think you can speak whenever you want to. It's a free country. But I myself would have probably kept at that time been like, all right, well, I'm going to keep my feelings aside and let other people fucking speak their voice and their problems right now. So I'm going to stay out of it. But that would have been me. But I wouldn't have also canceled this guy just because he wanted to show his support for whatever. I don't know. Kind of weird either way.
Well, exactly. You know how YouTube is. Not YouTube, but Twitter is. You can say fuck the virus and you get fucking suspended like me for 7 days.
Right.
And it's just weird how Twitter is and how other platforms is right now with people like, it's like higher up people, how they just cancel you regardless of, your opinions. But,
Well, hey, MTV hates white people.
I already know.
That's the funniest thing, man, that I'm banned for life for saying that. It's the weirdest thing.
And I said the same iteration. I think I said white people hate like something like some shit like that to a white person, like, oh, you're white, so you don't have an opinion. I got banned for that shit too. So it's weird. Yeah. It's weird how Twitter is. If you don't see the black like profile picture,
emojis,
they'll fucking ban you. Like, it's weird. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is weird. I can't understand it, and I think that they mistake. That's the problem with labeling everybody that says one thing is like, oh, this guy's a racist. It's like, but what about the real racists? Because you know what? Most of those fucking KKK cocksuckers don't have a Twitter. They don't know how to fucking use Twitter. So you're wasting. These people are wasting all their time with people on Twitter who aren't really the racist people, and meanwhile, the guys who really are, they don't even know how to fucking use Twitter. We should worry about them. They're in the backfield somewhere with a fucking meeting going on in a fire, and they don't know what Twitter is, and they're fucking probably in charge of a town. That's the scary. That's the people in Georgia know, man. Some of those places in Georgia on the outside skirts, not Atlanta, but Jesus Christ, bro, you would think it's 1940. Like, it's so
exactly. I'm from Alabama originally, so I already know what you're talking about.
Oh, okay.
I've seen a lot of racist people come through that state, so it's like you'll see them in person. You won't see them online.
Yeah,
they're old people.
Yeah,
I remember when I was playing basketball, basically, and you see an old white woman fucking speeding through the fucking shit, calling your names and shit, speeding through the street, calling your names, like, get the fuck out of the street, fucking nigger, like all that shit. It's like, I'm sorry to say it anyway. So yeah, let's go back to fucking wrestling.
Yeah, what are we doing? What are we doing? but no, those ladies are like that to us. Our mothers are like that. Like, what are you doing with this and that? And you're just like, what the fuck? Like, what, Mom? What the hell's going on? Because my mother's almost 70, so my mother will be like, well, you're supposed to do this, and I'm like, what? It's not the 50s. What the fuck are we doing? But yeah, so what did you think of the shit tonight?
It was a good show, man. I liked how the main event was. I like the Undisputed Era, but I just don't feel like they're like the same how they used to be. You know what I mean? I watched a lot of the past Undisputed Era matches on War Games. It's just weird how they just been basically on a low pole. Like, it's just weird how they are now. It
just feels like they're going. They're in cruise control. Like, okay, basically we're Undisputed Era, so we're something, and now let's have a match.
Like, I seen them in person, like back in Chicago. It's just not how they used to be. So I wish they go back to how they were at the best. I like how Roger Strong was champion, how they always champions at one point. And it was just their best attributes, all of them champions, and they always just strong. And how old NXT was. Nowadays, it's just weird. Everything is just weird on Raw. Dijakovic is just a fucking weirdo.
Wearing a mask,
I don't understand this shit.
Yeah, he sucks.
Keith Lee's getting fucked in the ass. It's weird. I don't know.
Salutations.
Are you gonna fuck the guy?
I mean, he really is weird. When he talks now, that's all I can hear now is well, Randy, maybe I'll step in the ring with you, Randy.
And fuck you.
And break your neck. It's just he's very strange. I all this is weird. Everybody seems lame. Triple H comparing them to DX. I made that video earlier today. God. It's are you listen, they look cool kinda. They definitely are good in the ring, but as far as the charisma and personalities popping like Triple H, HBK, and even fucking X-Pac, for Christ's sake. I mean, they don't even have that charisma. I mean, the Bobby Fish looks like a badass guy, but he's, He's just
Old.
they're just all kind of generic, like we kick ass wrestlers, I guess. And then the other guy, who's the other one? The palest one, the whitest one of all of them. What's his name? The redhead.
I forgot his goddamn name. The only one's not Roderick Strong. It's the other one. God.
No, Roderick. Yeah, Roderick's got a tan though. Who's the guy who's the palest one? You know what I'm talking about, Jake?
Bobby Fish.
No, Bobby Fish. No, he's got the funny mustache. The other guy, Kyle O'Reilly.
Kyle O'Reilly.
We should have known it by his Irish name, dude. He looks like a dork. Like, I'm sorry, like he looks like a fucking weird fucking person. Like, I don't know.
See, I don't get that from him. Like, I know he's skinny and small in stature, but he's been so impressive in the ring. He kind of backs it up.
No, he's great in the ring. I love him in the ring. He's a great wrestler in the ring.
But I can see what you're getting at. It doesn't stay in my mind. But with some people, it did for a while. Like Daniel Bryan, for a while, it took me a bit to get over the small stature guy.
No, it's not that he's small. It's none of that. It's that he looks goofy. It's like
the facial expressions.
Take a look at this guy. He looks like a goof. Like, I mean, he doesn't look like, wow, this guy's gonna kick someone's ass. He looks like,
he doesn't have that prototypical star look.
Yeah, he looks like someone's gonna take his lunch money. Like, I mean, seriously, like he really. But I'm sure he's a tough Irish guy. But it's just he's got I don't know, it's a little goofy,
a little butterface.
Yeah, he looks a little funny. He
just looks like he should be on 205 Live forever. But he's a great wrestler, though. I mean,
great wrestler.
Team-wise, it's great. Bobby Fish, they just complement each other. So it's weird how NXT is now, where just tag teams just depleted. And you don't even see them really going for a tag team title anymore, like how they used to be.
Yeah,
the tag division is in dire straits at this point. They have the best women's division, but their tag division sucks.
AEW just fucking taking all the tag teams. It's weird. Like
they have no tag teams in NXT at this point. Legado del Fantasma's one. They've got, that's more of a trio, but still, who else do we have? We've got
Breezango.
Yep.
That's about like in Breezango,
Undisputed Era, and then the tag champs, obviously.
So a lot of makeshift tag teams.
And Birch. That's it.
This is like the weirdest part of NXT, and it's like I don't understand it anymore, like how it used to be.
Yeah, tag team wrestling used to be the main event of certain takeovers, and it would be the focal point for a while.
But we were trying. They were trying to get in war games, though. You know what I mean? So they're trying to get in war games. They're going to probably go back to all that stuff. They just had to sidestep here to make sure they could do the war games thing, which is a massive, multi-man woman match.
Yeah.
So
Were the tag titles defended at 31? I don't recall.
I think so.
Yeah,
so.
They definitely were. It was I can't remember who was in the match now, but somebody in the chat will hit us up in a second and probably let us know.
Cocksucker, suck the cock. I'm allowed to talk forever. I got a fucking dick. I'm not allowed to talk as long as everybody else. Fuck you, fucking cocksucker. Suck your own dick tonight.
Wow. Merry Christmas, Joe. You guys are awesome. War Games was so-so, but you and Jake Q&A, what do you think of Kenny Omega winning the AEW World Title? Let's talk AEW. E-Murder with the $50 bomb. Look at that.
Hell yeah. And yeah, they weren't defended on 31. So
wow, they really weren't? Oh my God.
Yeah, I was going to say they weren't defended then either. I think they were at 30, but I don't remember 31.
Don't take my fucking charger.
Holy shit. Uh-oh, Shy God's in trouble.
Yeah, I'm in trouble. I'm taking my charger real quick.
Take my motherfucking charger?
There was a triple threat at 30 for the number one contenders, but there was no title match for the tag titles also at 30. So
nah, bro, CM Punk is not 6'2". He's like 6'1". He's probably 6 feet. But
and they weren't defended it in your house before that either.
Really?
So, yeah.
Well, now you guys are on to something. You guys are on to some major shit at this point. That's crazy.
That's 3. So 31, 30, and in your house, the takeover, they weren't on. The tag titles weren't defended.
My wife has a potty mouth in that donation. Let me tell you that.
So he asked a great question. I said that, what do we think of Kenny Omega winning the AEW title?
Mm-hmm.
I really like him winning the title. That I'm all for. The way he did it, I wish Callis didn't have to get involved with the microphone, but the 4 V-triggers with the one-winged angel that no one can kick out of, busting Moxley open, I was all about that. I'm not crazy about the Impact, possible, whatever you want to call it. It's not really an invasion, with them working together, storyline.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of holding back judgment. I said still, but knowing that they're already taped the next 4 weeks was kind of what I was worried about. And it's just going to be, hey, we're going to tape a promo and insert it here. So it's to get eyes on the product, but I don't think we're going to get any dream match scenarios out of this like people think. I really don't think we're going to see that talent exchange happen anytime soon.
I hope we don't. I don't even want to see that. I like that they're doing a storyline. I like the storyline. I don't want no invasion. I don't want any fucking we got to watch Impact now for stuff. Fuck that. But I'm happy though. I like the angle. I like the idea.
I love Kenny being the champion too, because it sets up, hopefully, I imagine where they'll go with it is Hangman taking the belt from him, down the line.
Mm-hmm.
That's a story that writes itself, and any decision they tend to make in AEW is intentional. They plan things long term usually. Like they have this idea. They may not always know exactly how they're going to get there, but they know what they want. They knew Kenny was going to be the champion at this point.
But remember too, they thought about maybe Hangman getting the belt originally first, and then everybody realized, man, it's too soon for this guy. It won't mean anything, whatever. So they've embedded this story that at some point can build and pay off, and it will make sense when it happens for Hangman if he does win it. Although I don't care. Yeah. I'll be honest with you, I don't care about Hangman winning. I don't want him to win. I will cheer against him. I like Kenny Omega having the belt though, because they needed to do something different with it already. It was just getting so boring with Moxley. Moxley is just not a good champion, really, no matter what company and whatever he does. To me, he was all right though. There were times, the music would come on, and he would drag the belt out, and he would look kind of...
Yeah, you get pumped for it.
Yeah, he would. I mean, he was all right, but he definitely... And I'll say the AEW...
He's easy to get into. He's hard to stay attached with, like in the matches.
But his
he
AEW...
loses me pretty quick, but I get into it.
You would say his AEW championship run is his best championship run, right? Because his eyes...
Oh, yeah. I mean, he was undefeated the whole time. He was treated like a top talent should be. As where when he had the belt, there was a time where he was feuding with James Ellsworth. No? I mean, there wasn't a great run for him as champion, as far as I recall. He had good stuff with AJ, but then it got kind of muddied and convoluted with the whole James
He never
Ellsworth
defended
stuff.
the U.S. title when he had that, like back when
Yeah, he held that for like 300-something days and never defended it, so...
Oh, God, he's just...
I liked him in AEW. It's just that he didn't have a ton... He won in a really solid match and took the belt from Jericho. And then from there, I don't feel like we got a great match from him. Like, him and Eddie had that good back and forth. It still could have been a little bit better, but it was really good at that time. I really liked it.
No, his best match was MJF. That was his best match.
MJF was good. I just wish they didn't throw in the whole paradigm shift being banned fluff that they have to dump onto every match. Everything needs a stipulation and
I don't think everyone's saying that Moxley's better at chasing. I don't think Moxley should be chasing. I think Moxley's better at, yo, I'm crazy. You want to have a match? Yeah. Let's fucking go. You want to have a match? I'll kill you. Like, I'm going to do something crazy. And then the other guy's like, I'll do something to you. Oh, yeah? Let's do it. How about we have 50 ladders in the match? Like that's where Moxley is the best, when he's having
That's where he shines, because he shouldn't... Why does his character care about a championship belt?
Yeah, I don't even like that. Yeah, he just...
Trying to convey that doesn't really align with his personality at all. He's not materialistic. Why would he care about... he passed up the car that Jericho offered him to be in the inner circle. He doesn't care about material and worldly possessions. He's a wanderer, a loner. He's always, out traveling on his own. Like that's the point of his, promos, vignettes, everything they showcase with him is to exemplify that he's his own man. And, he walks to the beat of his own drum. And I get it. And it works for him. But why would he want to be the champion? Why would he care about the company? Why would he care? That never really made sense with him. I like your idea of him just being not a mercenary in the sense, but like that, where someone that just arrives, raise hells, and leaves. That Stone Cold style that he should have been. The Stone Cold Moxley we were kind of hoping for.
And quite honestly, I'd go with this story with him right now like that in a way. Moxley's cutting a promo, and I would have John Moxley cut a promo like, I'm actually happy. I'm really happy that I don't have the title anymore. And some people would say, that's crazy. That doesn't make any sense. But the bottom line is, I enjoy going out there and hurting people. I enjoy hurting people. I enjoy writing down on a list that I fought so-and-so, and that I hurt so-and-so, and that I beat so-and-so. I almost get as much excitement when I find out about a guy suffering after a match as I do, beating the guy in the match. And so, AEW, when I was the AEW World Champion, there was all these restrictions. Oh, you can't fight this guy, John. Oh, you can't fight that night. You can't fight here. You got to wait for the big title match. You got to wait for this match. Well, and I had all these ideas. I had all these guys lined up. I could have beaten 50 guys, and I had a goal to beat 50 guys in a month. I fight 2 guys a day if I have to, and that's what I want to do. I'm going to set a record. And I've given people ass whoopings because that's what I do. I'm Jon Moxley, and I couldn't do that because Tony Khan, you got the belt, you can't have that match, you can't have this and that, you got that. And the best thing now is I'm free, and I'm a dangerous guy when I'm free, man. I'm a dangerous guy when I'm free. I'm gonna make more. I'll make my money back by beating skulls every day and whatever. And you're just like, wow, this guy's fucking crazy. Okay,
yep,
like
that works.
That's what I would go with him.
Because the MJF stuff, they made it into the political angle, and that just. It felt silly. Yeah. I didn't care for what. I wish they just had MJF as himself go for the title. Him and Brody was good, but I never felt like he really the best feud that he should have had was with Kenny, and even that their back and forth promos were good, but getting attacked, on the outside, it's a good story, but it was never anything super compelling for me. So. Well, I liked Moxley better without the title. And
he reminds me
he was more intriguing than being a madman. So
he kind of reminds me of a more he's basically Mankind and Roddy Piper. It's like, okay, Mankind and Roddy Piper. Neither one needed the belt. Both were important, whatever they were doing. You're Mankind and Roddy Piper. That's it.
And speaking of Sting, he's openly saying that he wanted a cinematic match against The Undertaker, especially after seeing last year's match. And for whatever reason, fans have always asked for it. It's been something we clamored for, they said. And Vince he doesn't see the appeal in that match.
Wow.
So that's why Sting said, well, forget it. I'm going to AEW.
What?
Khan wants to make him a regular television character, although he very clearly has to be protected when it comes to not taking bumps.
Now, if I was Sting, I would just make that up anyway. Even if
I would say this besides the fact, just to get the fans on my side and pissed at Vince, but I don't think he's lying because he was trying to push this a while ago when he first got signed, and he kept saying my favorite number is 31, and then he fought Triple H and lost.
Wow.
All right, but next year 32 it'll happen, and he was making a joke. My favorite number is now 32, and WrestleMania that year didn't happen. He got injured with Seth Rollins, and that was it. So he didn't get to continue. Then he had some stuff with his neck and some stem cell treatments and whatnot. Felt like he could do the cinematic style. It worked well for the Boneyard match with AJ, and he thought he could get something like that. And they nixed it. They didn't want to go with it. So,
that doesn't surprise me too much because I wonder if I don't think Undertaker would want to do another cinematic match. He
said he didn't want to do another cinematic match.
He said he wanted to?
He said he didn't want to.
Yeah, I wouldn't think Undertaker would want to do one.
No, Mark Calloway stated that it was... He liked doing it, and he's happy that was his last one, but it was basically like cheating because it worked around his limitations. But it was also much more difficult
because of COVID.
And and it was more difficult than a regular match to take part in because you have to refilm things, and then you get in the moment, you got to do a couple of moves, and now you got to wait, and they got to set up the next shot, and so you got to calm down and get into it again. He said it killed his body for weeks compared to just taking bumps in a match.
Yeah, remember how hilarious he was like, oh, we were there for 9 hours and then we had to come back and film again the next day. It was like, Jesus, this was fucking maybe worse than...
You want to fuck around with Ryback?
I can't even do Ryback anymore. I got throat cancer.
While I did feel like Takeover was solid tonight, I just haven't been able to get into NXT storylines like I used to. AEW is clearly the better show right now. What do you guys think NXT needs to do to get back to the level they were at?
They need to go to an outdoor facility like AEW, have a few more fans in the crowd. They need to get, they need to have more off-the-wall storylines. And more of the feeling that anything can happen, Robbie.
Differentiate between people. A lot of people feel the same in NXT. They're not individually defined. The women, they don't have characteristics besides their looks and sex appeal to define them differently. They all pretty much do or say the same things. So start allowing people to be more creative with their characters.
Yeah, it's really what it is.
Even if you bitch about AEW, people are different for the most part. There's some people that are like, oh, these two look the same. You got a few that you can confuse together. But on the whole, I can differentiate between the wrestlers. That's where NXT, sometimes it's like, did they already wrestle? Did I already see this one? But the matches are so consistently good.
That it's everything is solid.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, if we can get a hybrid of both shows combined to be the perfect wrestling, I think.
Yeah, the needle for NXT feels like it's set permanently at 8. Like you're never going to get above an 8, and it feels like they'll never go below a 4 either. So with NXT, you feel like you're in that mid-range of good every time, but nothing more than that and nothing less. And with AEW, it feels like sometimes the needle shoots up into the 8.5s and the 9s, and then sometimes it actually will go lower and be a horrible segment or something.
Yeah.
And the idea of all these up and downs at AEW, it feels like NXT is a wonderful bike with training wheels, and AEW feels like a very dangerous BMX. And so it's just more exciting, even though, it's weird. I can't think of an analogy.
No,
really.
You're right, because I still really like NXT, but I will say this. I'm not even the biggest Sting fan. Like, I do really like him, but he's never been my favorite of all times.
Right.
I do enjoy his work. But I marked out like a young kid the other day. It was so cool to see, like, all right, the very last, episode, WCW goes off the air with Sting. Now he's back all these years later. Tony's, marking out himself. And it was surprising. I didn't expect it or see it coming. Bless you.
Whoa. Vince is a fag.
Oh, no. They won't like that. Shy Guy.
Right here, too.
He's on the call with us, and he's going after Vince.
Yeah, I've been quiet. I've been respectful.
Well, no, you don't have to be. I mean,
chime in here.
But
what was something that stood out to you tonight? Is there something that you enjoyed the most, or you had a favorite match, moment?
Basically the main event scene, the main event. The Undisputed Era did win, so that was a great highlight for me, though.
Yeah, I'm happy that the Faces won there, and I would say that the better match was the Tommaso Ciampa match, but to me, I liked the main event better. I had more fun with that.
Yeah.
So I would say that, Thatcher match was a better match overall, but
it felt like the main event.
Such a good time.
It felt like the main event. It felt like because there was so much build with it too, so it was fun.
And Pat McAfee is not bad. Like the way he talks is like better than most people on NXT.
Mm-hmm.
He articulates his words better than most people does with promos.
Mm-hmm.
With how he just words things out. He's a smooth character, but he is like not really a wrestler like that for real. So
I would love to.
Other than that, he's just.
I want to go to AEW and face Pat McAfee. I want to get on a mic with Pat McAfee and go after him. Like that's how exciting he is. Like I want to wrestle Pat McAfee. Like the Battle of the Outsiders. Like let's go. With your
exactly.
like with his white teeth. His really white teeth that are fake.
Yeah.
I would just like I just like he's really good. CM Punk is right. The guy fucking speaks better than 88% of the locker room.
Absolutely.
It's crazy.
O'Reilly cuts a good promo, so does Cole, but Pat's a damn good heel, and he's been so impressive. He's backed up everything that he's put forward. And it wasn't like he just did all right, I'm a celebrity, let me, take a chair shot, even that, or a bump. He bumped all around the ring, jumped off the top of the cage, goes off the top ropes, takes, tons of maneuvers, and he's not just delivering punishment, he's selling as well. So I give him a ton of credit for that.
He takes so much damage for a guy on the podcast. That's just saying something right there. Like a guy that people didn't think would, bump that bad and would be in some kind of like precarious situations like that. It's something new, like for his, character for real.
He looks a lot better than Lawrence Taylor did at WrestleMania 11, And Lawrence Taylor looked all right at WrestleMania 11, but that was a guy coming out of nowhere who was a football player, never wrestled really, had some quick training, and Lawrence Taylor ended up looking pretty good in that match. Bam Bam helped him, but Pat McAfee, former football player, comes into this company and he's really good. Like it's not even he's light years ahead of what LT was doing.
He's the best celebrity debut I want to say in the company's history. That was the best, fresh debut out of any celebrity they've had come in.
Right.
The only other one that was really close to it was Steve Amell when he was the guy that plays the Green Arrow.
Oh yeah.
And he came in because to face Cody Stardust then, and then he also did stuff with Neville.
Remember what he looked like remember that New Japan match though? Do you remember Wrestle Kingdom? Oh my god.
That was not good.
It was,
but
but it was good in a weird way. I remember.
In a way, yeah. I mean,
it was bad
match too. Was it All In with Daniels? Was that it?
Oh, maybe it wasn't New Japan. Maybe it was All In.
I think it was All In.
No, it was so bad. It was like good in a way because it added to the randomness of the night, but it was fucking hilarious. Like I don't know, it was. I remember thinking like, wow, this is fucked. But he was still good. I love how PC has a promo classes only to not let talents have promo time. Yeah, Daryl Stoltz, it's crazy. We have more things at our disposal now than ever. And promo class and all these other things. And yet nobody can cut a promo.
That Liv was showing where that you can film yourself and you can go in and cut promos all day and they'll review them. Those are like set hours that you have. That's great. They'll have legends work with you on your promos. Like you have all these abilities, and then they don't let people develop characters or show their characters on NXT.
Well, and then they don't anyway. They don't even come. And a part of it, I mean, has got to be that people aren't living the gimmick anymore. That's almost what I wonder is if it's because people aren't living the gimmick. I mean, like somebody who's got a pretty good promo is on SmackDown. Isn't Lacey Evans a pretty good promo for her character?
I liked her promo work as a heel.
Decent.
Yeah, because she's living that gimmick, I feel like. And I think that's why she's better. Oh, sweetheart.
Yeah, she believed her role. She fit that Southern Belle.
Dude, do you remember when when she cut that promo on TV and then laughed? And she went, and then Naomi just stared at her like, what the fuck was that? Like, it was, oh my God, dude, that was hilarious. And then she's like, and I know that I'm going to get it done like I always do. And then fucking Naomi was like, what the fuck? And she stared at her, dude. Oh my God. It was so funny, man. Lacey Evans, like, playing a 50-year-old white lady. Like, it's so funny. Like, that's basically what she's doing. And it's
back
fucking
in
funny.
Education time.
Exactly. Like, it's like this lady reminds me of a fucking, something out of Saving Private Ryan or something, but it's just, but it was just too funny because that world colliding with Naomi, who's like her character is really based in, current time, and this other person who's playing this fucking throwback type of character. Oh my God, was funny. That shit was hilarious.
Did you hear that they did actually sign WWE former diva Melina? So she's on her way back.
Oh my God.
PW Insider actually confirmed it now. I know last year there was a big hubbub about her coming back, and it never happened. They wanted her for the 2020 Women's Rumble, at the Royal Rumble, but she was still under agreement with NWA. Now that deal expired, so she's been signed with WWE, and she's supposed to be back to returning to programming within the next week.
Right. Well,
so we'll see her soon.
That's pretty cool. I mean, she's going to help. Yeah. She's going to be in the Mickey James role, though, so... I mean, don't be...
That's my worry. I mean, hopefully they do.
That's your worry? That's what she's going to be in the Mickey James role. So if you're not prepared for that, you're going to be worried a lot.
I've got my mind set on that's what's going to happen, but...
Okay. I'm just telling everybody out there.
I'm not expecting anything different. I'm hoping that's not the case, but it's likely going to be.
Somebody said call Lacey Evans Karen something. Well, there was no Karens going on when Lacey Evans debuted. That wasn't a thing, so... That's probably why they didn't call her Karen, because there was no Karens. But yeah, she would be that's kind of the character, to be honest. That is kind of the character.
Also, to continue what I was saying before, Fightful was talking about Jackson Riker and that there's still heat on him backstage.
Ugh.
And he's not even on the internal roster sheet at this point.
Wow.
And obviously he took a lot of heat for his controversial, air quotes, tweet about Donald Trump's support. The locker room is still not happy with him or his social media activity. He's still in the doghouse.
Jesus Christ.
WWE said that it's not worth the risk of bad publicity of putting him on TV.
What? Oh my God. He said, God bless the president.
Yep.
I'm still at piss. Listen, I don't agree with him really, and I don't even like.
But
like, I mean, I don't agree with his politics and the style that he. I'm not that type of person, but I would. This is just crazy wrong. I mean, to fucking keep the guy off the fucking whatever the fuck, like who? Like, I don't fucking care. Why is he off the fucking roster?
It's all opinionated, so
yeah, you
it
can't
doesn't
have
even matter.
a different opinion.
Yeah, now he goes around the locker room saying like, I'm not fond of black people or something like that. Like, then it's like, well, what the fuck are you? You know what I mean?
I'm not too fond of your skin.
Yeah, I'm not too fond of black people. Yeah, okay.
Exactly.
Now we got something weird going on. Now I can understand keeping him off TV and being like, maybe we should get rid of this guy. That's kind of a fucked up thing to say. Like, he's probably a racist.
He was former military too, so I know he was like former Marine, I think.
Right. He's like a proud Marine, very patriotic.
Exactly.
It's his personality to be very patriotic. Some people are the opposite, right? Some people are, but that's what makes America great. Is questioning America and saying fuck the politics, fuck the president, and we're the people, and that actually makes you very American. And also, but wanting to be American.
To the SJW locker room too, but also, Joe, it's the fact that he included his gimmick with the support of Trump that people were especially upset at.
Well, that's even better. See, he was trying to live the gimmick.
He was trying to be in character, saying, forgotten no more, and then having the whole MAGA support, going
Yeah, of
behind
course this guy's going to love Trump.
If I was Vince, I would have loved that character right there. That could have made you so much money.
That's what I think. Put him on TV.
A white supremacist? Great. Put him as a fucking...
Well, see,
the tag team, a heel tag team against the damn New Day. Guess what? You're making money right there. Because a white supremacist versus New Day, all you got to do was beat their asses to like white meat.
You know what?
And be subtle about it. Don't be don't be racist. Don't be blatant. Just be
subtle. Yeah.
Yeah, very subtle and
what's
very
going
opinionated, but in a way that you could skirt the line. And New Day takes offense to something backstage. Make a parody of it. And
can you imagine?
You guys had an issue, turn it into an angle.
Can you imagine if New Day brought it up and New Day was like, so you guys just all of a sudden your first night on the roster are getting a title shot against us, like, and then we beat you, and now here we are a week later and you're getting another title shot, man. We see what's going on here. You know what's going on, man. The people at home know. Everybody knows what's going on here. The same thing that's been going on in this company for years. For years. Ask Booker T what this is about. Ask anybody who knows what's going on. And then these guys come out and then they're like, yeah, we're gonna get a title shot against you. You know what that's about. And they just sort of like walk this line of like, oh my God, this is like fucking. Like Vince wants these guys to be champions because they look the part, because they're white guys with long hair and they look like all the Shawn Michaels and Triple H and the New Day.
We already had Kofi Mania the year before, so they could have played up on the racial tensions then. That Kofi was never meant to be champion. They could do a lot with this without being it could be very subversive. Subtle. And yeah, exactly, it would work. And they don't have to, and they've done it before. Like C. Butler said, we the people with Zeb Coulter, and you've had Kerwin White, and there's so many racist acts they've had. So if they do this with an actual purpose in mind, to have the New Day be the ones that topple these guys, that could be great. That's money.
But instead, it's like, let's keep this guy off the Street Profits too. Let's keep this guy off the air.
But thankfully, they let the other two come back to TV.
Yeah, I don't get. I just don't.
Blake and Cutler there, right, or whatever his name.
I feel bad for the guy. I mean, like, Jesus Christ, like the guy's like whole career's ruined because he tweeted that. I mean, if he tweeted something more fucked up, like, if he had tweeted.
But what kills me is that Lars is back on. He's been on TV.
Yeah, Lars Sullivan,
and he said, "Oh wow." Stuff about Stephanie, about Triple H, about
fuck Stephanie's little pussy hole, like whatever.
It's weird. It's fucking weird.
Homophobic.
I have no words for that man.
Yes, he actually said racist things,
racist and homophobic.
You're
things,
right.
Anti-Semitic things. He's been up and down the ringer with all this stuff. He's made many different terrible posts, and yet he still stands. And I'm not saying he should be canceled either. That's not my point, but.
It makes no sense.
Wow,
is the point.
the dichotomy between these two things is mind-numbing to really think about.
I forgot about that, dude. He
Because
legitimately.
he's fucking big, man.
It's, you know what it is. It comes down to is this other guy was shit anyway, and he wouldn't have done anything anyhow. So that's why they're like, whatever. You keep him home. I mean, that's got to be it.
It has to be.
Because you're right.
Fucking freak, man.
Didn't Lars say something about being like superior and like superiority?
Yeah.
White people are
he said all these terrible things.
Yeah. So I mean, like this guy literally said something like whites are superior.
He said some jokes too.
It might have been a joke, but it was weird either way. But I get it.
Yeah, and then he said some other stuff too that was definitely racist.
Dude, I've heard
I've
heard more white people and black people this year talk about how they're superior, and I'm like, you look around, we're retarded.
Yeah.
Nobody's fucking superior anywhere.
Weird.
I've heard it from both races, and I'm like, what kind of drugs are you all on that anybody's superior because they're pain? What the fuck are you talking
onto
about?
something. He said if we take Lars and Riker, team them together, they're the forgotten freaks.
The forgotten Freebirds. Bring back the Freebirds.
But we got to get him an SS name.
Right.
You know, like the Superior Supers, something, stupid like that. So this way they're the SS, and they march to the ring.
Wait till all the stories about Flair start coming out when he's passed away, unfortunately, bless his heart.
Oh, the real stories.
Calling
of Flair.
people the stuff he used to say.
Mm-hmm.
Tell that.
All the women that'll come forward now that he's no longer with us.
Yeah, we're all those people too, by the way. I'm surprised that Flair hasn't been, canceled or whatever the fuck.
Me too'd.
Which he can't be, by the way, because he's just too cool. All right, dude.
Black people love him.
Right, exactly. That's the thing, and he's
Made a whole song about him.
And he said stuff. He has said stuff behind the scenes, like in anger, like N-word in anger, like to people. Like it's been witnessed.
Documented.
Right. And so
Taylong.
But yet he's in like rap videos. He's in rap videos and shit. Like he's like Donald Trump. If Ric Flair ran as a Republican, like he would become hated. But like if Ric Flair ran as a Democrat, he would be loved. It's weird.
It is weird, but it's true.
I mean,
look at what Daryl said too. He said time for Vince and Bruce to create Stephen Joseph Waters, aka an SJW character. Your thoughts?
Yeah.
I always made a joke saying that Rob Van Dam, I wanted to play his cousin, Stephen Thomas Dam, so I could be STD.
Yeah. Now, wasn't that what the penis guy was doing? He was doing a SJW character or something like that? Didn't he start that? And then he got busted he got canceled or whatever, and then he had to, but that was the last thing he was doing, right? He was wearing like khaki pants and a button-up shirt, and he was like, you shouldn't, you can't say that. That's culturally appropriating or something like that.
I think so.
I swear
I'm
to
trying
God.
remember now.
I think he was doing that. But to me is like most real people know that there's a difference between talking shit and being a real bad person. It's like Mike Tyson when he calls you little white faggot, you white motherfucker, you cracker ass fuck. Like, I don't think Mike Tyson's a fucking racist. I think it's hilarious. Like, so it's like, but nowadays people would be like, ooh, it's like, I don't know, man. There's a difference. He's just talking shit. There's a difference between talking shit and wanting to annihilate another race. It's a different thing.
Yeah, exactly. Big difference.
Or Mike Tyson being like, oh, I'm hiring for somebody to do this job, and then Mike Tyson be like, fuck, I ain't hiring no white motherfucker. Like, then you'd be like, all right, well, that kind of sucks. Like, what the fuck? But even then, I still don't think he's even even think he's a racist. I think he's like a guy who has a preference. Like, right? Like, he's got a preference. He wants a black dude to be his caddy. He doesn't want a white guy to be his caddy. I don't see that as like, oh my God, he's fucking, but like, oh my God, dude, nowadays you can't do shit without, oh God, like they're fucking, I don't know, man. It's weird. And I don't know. Fuck him. You know what? He wouldn't have done anything anyway. Jackson Riker, whatever the guy's name is, fuck him. He wouldn't have done shit.
Yeah.
He looks like Chains, younger Chains from, what were they, the Disciples of Apocalypse back in the fucking Attitude Era? Remember that weird gang warfare they were doing in the Attitude Era? The Los Pariquas and the Nation of Domination, the Los Pariquas, and fucking the Disciples of Apocalypse, dude. You remember that, dude? Like they had these little gangs of each stereotype.
A race war.
They had a race war. Yeah, dude.
Basically.
Shy God's on camera. Shy God, remember when you were hammered that night when you got married?
Oh, I'm hammered right now a little bit. I'm a little toasted right now. Ain't gonna lie to you.
Shy God's got to be that way. You got to stay, you know?
They were having race wars in the late 90s. And the nation won, bro. The nation won because they had The Rock. The Rock took over. They didn't have
Look at
The
how
Rock.
blatantly racist they were when, you know, you had Owen Hart and everybody basically making fun of the nation.
Yeah. See, I didn't think that.
Jason Sensation,
oh my God.
you know?
I don't even.
But that was hilarious.
Look at this. No, I don't even think that was racist because they were just like mocking the guys. Now, if somebody said, "Hey, look at I'm so chocolate, I'm a chocolate bar," you know, like if they had done that, it would have been like, "Oh, Jesus." You know,
WWE's had some real racist stuff before. So
the gorilla doll with Gorilla Monsoon and Bobby the Brain, that's the greatest thing ever. That shit. You know what I'm talking? Shy God, you seen that, right?
The Coco.
Oh, you already know I know, man. You already know I know about it.
That shit's hilarious. Like, dude.
Let me see that Coco Beware doll.
Well, I like what that's. Let me see that. Could you pass me that Coco Beware doll over there?
That happens to be a gorilla.
Bobby, that's a gorilla. It's not a Coco Beware
People used
doll.
to give crap for Crime Time, you know.
Why?
They would say that was too much of a parody and, you know, racist towards blacks. And
well, at the time I was from Detroit, so I thought that was just, you know, real life. So I never seen a problem with that.
Well, that's the problem is you're enforcing it with kids who are like, oh, that is what you do, you know. So, but whatever. It was a fucking gimmick, man. It's funny.
Exactly.
But
Muhammad Hassan, yeah, the Los Conquistadors.
Los Conquistadores. How about Alberto Del Rio? You think he's going to go to jail for murder? He could be, but the woman dropped the charges, which is weird.
So
that's weird, dude. Tell me the fucking Mexican cartel didn't get to her.
Yeah,
because
something happened.
Oh my God, he did these terrible things to me. I'm taking him to court, and I'm gonna win, and all these things. Oh, never mind. It was my mistake.
Never mind. I want to get my head cut off.
Yeah, never mind. Yeah, she got a phone call like, "We'll cut your fucking head off, bitch. We'll take your fucking kid. I'll fuck your kid in front of you, you old fucking cunt." Like, never. I lie about everything.
The ex-girlfriend.
Yeah,
she went ahead and she posted. She said an apology to the Rodriguez Del Rio family for the damages caused by my mistakes. She posted that on her Instagram.
Oh my God, dude! Somebody help her. That's bullshit. There's no fucking way. No way. Because a woman,
and his brother's like, "Oh, the truth will set you free." And
dude, a woman like that either goes down lying because they do it all the time. They lie about stuff, and they go down lying usually, or they get exposed in court, or they back down in a weird way. Nobody comes out and says like specifically to apologize like that. Somebody's fucking threatening her.
Exactly, and it says right here that he might not be off the hook for the assault and kidnapping charges. Mm-hmm. Court records indicate he is still slated to go on trial as of the 25th of January, 2021, and that has remained unchanged the last week. So everyone's still going by court records. Even if she drops her charge against him, the DA might still be able to charge him. So that could be what's going on. They could still, the state or whatever, you know, city, town, whatever, they could still prosecute against him.
They're going to have a hard time winning without a witness, but
it depends on the crime and how much evidence they have and what the context of everything is. But Moxley, Alberto Del Rio, and RVD are all booked for a big event in Qatar for Qatar Pro Wrestling. And that's October 23rd, 2021. So they're already booking for things out there.
Right.
So a lot of people are thinking that this pandemic's going to end. Tessa Blanchard said that, you know, WWE and AEW are still interested in her, but she's not signing anything until the pandemic is either over or slows down to where it's manageable.
I mean, it's the worst it's been right now in America.
Yeah, it's no.
Like, I mean, honestly, dude, Massachusetts right now is now the worst it's ever been with the pandemic.
I don't blame her though. She's in Mexico. She's just got her new husband. She doesn't want to travel until this slows down. I can't argue with that.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, I mean, it really seems like. I mean, to put this in perspective, right? There's 370 million Americans. How many Americans have gotten COVID so far? Do we know that number? Does anybody know that? It's like 5. Is it 3-4 million?
I believe like 2 million, maybe more than that.
So maybe, and we could speculate that more had it and they didn't even know and all these other things.
14.8 million. There was 206,000 yesterday.
Ooh. Okay. All right.
And we're at 282,000 deaths.
So let's
speculate. 2,190 since yesterday.
Let's speculate though that more people had it, right? Because so many people probably didn't get tested, didn't know, or just wrote it out and didn't give a shit. So let's add I would almost add 2 million at least to that probably had it or whatever the fuck and didn't know. I would guess. Because 30% of the time you don't even know you had it. That's a fact. So, I mean, it's got to be 20 million people probably had it. So 20 million people maybe of 370 million people have had it. And how many are dead in America? 200,000?
Almost 300,000.
Oof.
Sheesh.
I mean, it's not. It's just a terrible thing. I mean, it's weird because like.
So fucking sad.
Yeah, it's just a lot of people that would, and you know, again, it's people that were sick usually and stuff like that. But there's 50-year-olds though that were doing pretty good and they died. So it does suck. It's fucked up. It
says right now that the people most affected are ages 18 to like 35.
What?
Surprisingly enough, yeah. Out of all the cases that they're seeing right now, it's 18 to 35 has been the worst.
What?
In the past 14 days.
Why is that?
Wish I could.
Wait a minute. I think I might know why that is. Actually, now that I think about it, that might be the age group that doesn't give a shit.
Doesn't give a shit, or they were out shopping at Black Friday, or they were visiting family for Thanksgiving.
Right. Like think about it. And anybody who's older is locking up.
You figure from November 21st to December 4th, so the last 14 days, that essentially, you know, is the.
But when you say affected, are you saying they're infected or they're the ones that are dying and shit? Like, what are you saying?
It just says
whoa!
What's up, Joe and Jake? I currently have COVID and I can't smell or taste anything, but it's really strange. I felt congested, but my nose is completely dry. Anyways, I'd give tonight to 8/10.
Zach Connor, thank you, man. You're now the 20th person that I know, I think, that had COVID, Zach. And you're like the 7th person that I know that has said they lost their smell and taste. So, and I got to be honest, I remember getting the flu. I got the flu years ago, like maybe 7 years ago when I got the flu. I lost taste and smell during that. I couldn't taste or smell for 5 days. And that was a flu from 7 years ago. So I totally know that feeling. It's fucking scary. You start, after a couple of days, you start thinking, is this ever going to come back? Or am I like this forever? That's usually what happens after this first, second, third, fourth day. You're like, oh my God, there's something wrong. But it does come back.
It seems to be.
It can take 2 weeks sometimes. But you know what? You'd rather lose your taste and smell rather than get fucking ARDS, okay? So that's the better. You take the fucking, no smell and taste over your lungs filling up with water. So it's, the young people feel like there's, young people or people even around our age, like 18 to 40 or whatever you're calling it, some of them feel invincible, some of them don't care, or some of them are just too goddamn busy to even care. They would rather just they've got to do what they've got to do, and if shit happens, oh well. Like, that's what they're thinking. So that kind of doesn't surprise me. And, kids don't get it, really. So you put all those things together, and it makes sense that age group is the one most affected. Kids are not getting it, and when they do, you barely notice it. So that makes sense why 18 and under isn't coming in really or getting it. I know that JoJo Siwa just got it. The girl that my daughter watches, that singer girl, her whole family got it, and she got it. And wow. She said that her whole family lost their sense of smell and taste, except her. She didn't lose that. She just had a headache and didn't feel good for a couple days. So, and her family got it, and they were sick for like a week, and then that was it.
Thankfully, that's all.
But yeah, but there's other people that are not so well. So, you can't just downplay it, like, because there's people that are dealing with it in a bad way, and you never know. But, you just got to remember that, again, 99%, you're going to be fine.
98% something.
it's like 98% you're going to be fine, 99% you'll live even if you go to the hospital. And then, like, there's the bad number. You know, I don't know. And I think a lot of that percentage, right, that 1.5 or 2% that is in trouble, they end up being the over 60 crowd.
Exactly.
So it's just, if you just remember that and you stay away from older people and you let the older people stay inside, they'll be the first to be inoculated or whatever. You know, they should be, because they'll be 70 and whatever. So whatever. I'm no doctor, but, you know, probably inoculate the old people first. And the other thing too is, if I'm older, I'd be like, yeah, fuck it, give it to me. I'm 80. You know, if I get this thing, I'm dead. If you inoculate me and in 5 years the vaccine makes me die anyway, fuck it. You know, but like,
it's better than not being able to live your life in the last few years.
Well,
because you didn't get the vaccine, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and you don't want young kids getting it. Right? I mean, that's the other thing. You really don't want young kids getting a vaccine, I feel like. I don't know why young kids would get it. Like, there's almost no chance of them getting hurt or sick by it. And what if the vaccine makes them... What if you get kidney cancer because of the vaccine? Like, every 5 years. You know what I mean? And, like, I just worry about that. Like, in, like, 5 to 10 years, thousands and hundreds of thousands of people are getting kidney cancer or something like that. And they're tracing it back to the vaccine. It'd be like, oh my God, dude, what do we do?
Sound like a Walking Dead experience.
Yeah.
It's like how the Walking Dead started.
Freaks me out, man. It's true. I'm not an anti-vaxxer either. I'm just saying, you know, we don't know. We didn't have a lot of time to study this shit. We couldn't even get the fucking SARS. What's the other SARS vac? The other SARS has been around for fucking 20 years. There's no vaccine for that. They couldn't.
It wasn't needed in that sense.
Well, they didn't fund it either, to be honest. That's the reason. They didn't fund it, so, and that just shows you, man, they could get this shit done if they wanted to.
Yeah, if it was, but it wasn't shutting down the world. If it was, they would have funded it.
Right now that you guys mentioned JoJo Siwa, anybody know if Debbie Ryan has gotten the virus?
Does anybody know if Debbie Ryan has gotten the virus?
Going through all the Disney stars? I don't know.
I don't know, but that's creepy that you know who they are, Luis Antonio Alejandro. At least I have a daughter. That's why I know what I'm saying.
Alejandro!
Joe, do you know that I watch them every morning?
You know?
I jerk off. Thanks for being a $25 producer, Alejandro, by the way.
Man, Debbie Ryan has this damn birthday movie that Danny used to watch on repeat over and over. She gets to make wishes on her birthday, and she wants to be an adult, and it's just a terrible movie. Every now and again, you'll get a kid's movie that's just so awful. It tortures you. That was one.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't see that. I'm glad I did not see that.
You lucked out.
Yeah, I'm happy about that. Listen, man, we should probably get out of here. We've been on the air for a while, and now we're into COVID, so you know it's time to go when you're getting into COVID.
Yeah, we talked about the whole card. I'm sticking with the 7.5. Fun show. AEW's winter is coming. Does top out with an 8 for the week. They get the seal of approval here for me, but this was a really fun show. If you haven't seen it, make sure you go and at least watch both War Games matches. You won't be disappointed with those. You know, they're car crashes, got good stories, some really fun spots, and
you got to watch.
Event, Pat is a beast. So
I would definitely say, like, watch the women's one, then go watch the Tommaso Ciampa match, and then watch the final match, and you'd be pretty. That's a pretty solid 3 matches there. If you don't have the time to watch the whole thing, watch those 3. Do it up, baby. And listen, if I can come away with saying that I enjoyed those 3 matches at least, that's usually a pretty good show. You know, it wasn't like the old takeovers. Remember the first 20 takeovers? Like, every takeover was like, holy shit. Like, it wasn't like that, but it was a solid show.
We've also gotten used to takeovers, so it's become formulaic in a sense.
And no crowd. And crowd played a huge part in the takeovers.
Yeah. I've said that before, being at 25. My God, the crowd was besides themselves. It was insane.
That's right.
I was blown away by how loud a small venue sounded. It was deafening.
And Rudy Giuliani does have COVID, yeah. And listen,
that was COVID running down his head. All that black.
What if? Oh God, that was fucked up, man. His fucking makeup.
The dirty
shit.
pox is right on the money with that.
Well, you know, I'm hoping that I mean, if Giuliani makes it, you know what I mean, after Trump made it, you know, and all these other people.
Yeah,
we'll
see. We'll see. If Rudy can survive, then nobody should be worried.
I'd be pretty angry if I died of COVID and you know, that old fuck Trump lived, and you know, even though he had access to special drugs and stuff like that, probably I'd still be pissed, man. All these old people are surviving it, and I die of it. Fuck me, dude. If I what the fuck? I'll be bullshit
really.
about it. But yeah.
Oh, one last thing I wanted to bring up too, the main event I wanted to say to you.
Yes.
There was one point where Kyle O'Reilly didn't even have a mic, and the promo he cut to Pat was so damn badass. I love that moment. And I kind of forgot about it for a few minutes. I wanted to address it before, though.
Wait a minute. Which promo? Which promo are you talking about?
It was in the middle of the War Games match, but Pat McAfee was on the other side, and Kyle O'Reilly's here, and he ends up yelling at Pat to, you know, come face me, take me on like a man, you know, get over here. And finally, Pat tells him to put the chair down. He throws the chair down, and then Adam Cole attacks Pat from behind. It was just a great setup moment and a really badass moment from Kyle. I really liked it.
Yeah, that was pretty good. And I was shitting on Kyle earlier too, but that was pretty cool. Yeah,
it was a really cool moment from him, and then it led to obviously more of a you know, train crash coming up. But I love that spot.
Have you seen my son playing Mario Brothers on Twitter?
That was hilarious.
Look at this kid. What is going on here? All right, everybody, we're ending the show tonight with my son playing Mario Brothers.
I just squished on it. Oh my.
Dude, he's like talking trash to Mario. He's like, take that, I squished his face. He's talking trash. This will put you at ease.
Psychopath.
Psychopath.
Dude, he called the guy a psychopath. He goes, there you go, psychopath.
What?
Why is he a psychopath? Oh my god, dude. This kid wrecked it in Mario.
I'm gonna suck a dick. Does anybody have... I would like some cocaine. I'm a roidback.
What's good, my guys?
What's up?
Joe, where are you in mass? Today got postponed till tomorrow.
No.
I will DM you on Instagram and Twitter to set up time tomorrow. Prefer the AM after 1030. I uploaded a bunch of 34 seconds highlights.
Well, if you just watched the chat for the past couple of weeks, you would have seen where I am from the doxers. You could have found out on your own. But no, yeah, message me on Instagram. Maybe I'll meet you somewhere or do something. We can get COVID together. Botch Club. Thank you, Botch Club. Guys, go follow Botch Club on Instagram. It's a great account. Over 20-something thousand followers. Tons of botches. A lot of fun. But yeah, Botch Club, either just wait for the doxers or just hit me up in a DM and we'll meet somewhere. Because if you come to my house, I might not know it's you and I'll shoot you. So don't come to my house.
Crossbow.
Yeah. Well, no, I'll use the real gun. But I have dude, I got this high-powered crossbow that's sick. Like, dude, this fucking thing will kill somebody. Like, I've got that little one, and it's like, and it would definitely fuck you up. But I got one of those fucking big ones, dude. And it's like, fucking...
Yeah, Walking Dead
like
style.
Fucking, oh, my God, dude.
Like a Daryl now.
Bro, I love crossbows. So, like, yeah, dude. I've got a sword that goes over your back, like one of those things you just stuff it on, and it's a double katana. So I got that, goes over your back. Then I've got the crossbow. And then, dude, on the fucking swords on the sides are fucking, like, Chinese stars or whatever, which are, like, illegal, I think. But, like, you could just, oh, my God, dude. I was playing around one day in the basement, and I took all the stuff out. But, I hide it, right? I got it, like, hidden in a certain place in my bedroom and in my basement. So I've got 2 locations. I'm armed in 2 locations. But I took it all out, and I was, like, dressed up like a fucking ninja psycho. And one of the kids came downstairs while I was just kind of playing with the sword and putting it back in the thing. And one of them came, they go, what are you doing? Are you like a warrior? Brenna goes, are you a warrior? I'm like, yeah, I'm a warrior. I go upstairs.
I'm defending this house.
I go upstairs now. And I got the crossbow. Crossbow and these 2 swords. And I'm
Meanwhile,
like,
you got yourself all loaded up before you can even cock that crossbow back. Shy Guy just shot you with his gun off his hip.
I'm dead already. Yeah.
You didn't even get to grab the ninja stars, and you got 2 holes in your
You,
chest.
you know what would happen is my dog would eat somebody before anything. That's what would happen. Clover, not Melly. Melly would just bark at somebody and growl and be like, rah, 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 rah. But Clover would eat somebody. Before all that stuff, she'd be the distraction. You'd have to kill the dog first. But while you're dealing with the dog, I'd be fucking arming up. And then I would probably kill you. But yeah, thank you guys for listening on that happy note. And shout out to Shy God for hanging out with us. And everybody else for listening. And shout out to Jake DeMarco for being here. And I'm out of here. Good night, guys. Kisses.
Good night, baby. Stay sexy.
Peace out, people.
Shy God, thank you for hanging out.
Later.
Oh, no problem.
Later.
Love you guys.
Kisses. Love you, brother. Love you, Jake, you sexy beast. Love you. Let me tell you something, brother. I've been saying brother a lot. I've been saying brother for like the last 5 months. I say brother after every fucking word. I've become Hulk Hogan, dude. Chris Hemsworth.
How can you resist it?
Do you think Chris Hemsworth's going to be a good Hogan?
I hope so. I'm not sold on the poster, but
Me
we'll
neither.
see. I want to see a trailer.
Yeah. I want to see it. I hope. I mean, how is he going to do the voice? That's what I wonder. Maybe he won't. Maybe he'll just be, I'm a wrestler, man. What's up? Like, he'll just talk like that. I don't know.
That would almost be better than trying to do
You might be right.
a silly parody.
You might be right. I think you might be right. I think you should slide in little things, kind of like how the other not Hemsworth, but how Chris Pine did with Kirk in Star Trek. Like, Chris Pine didn't do Kirk. He didn't go, Captain, beam me up. It's time to beam me up. Like, he didn't do that. But he threw out those little mannerisms throughout the movie, in the first Star Trek movie, where he was like, Bones, do this. And it was like just that little Bones. Like, it was like, oh, that's Kirk. Okay. Like, but Carl Urban did a McCoy. Like, he fucking did McCoy.
In his own way, yeah.
Yeah, he tried to do him. Like, he tried to whatever. So, I don't know. We'll see what Chris Hemsworth does. And good night. I'm really going this time. Good night, guys. Love you. Kisses. Mwah. See you later. And up on the Patreon now is Corrupted Podcast in audio form. Check out my Patreon. Support the channel. But there's over tons of content on Patreon, including the new song by Lil Suicide. You guys know Lil Suicide's Christmas song? You know Lil Suicide's I'ma Do Drugs. But now the brand new song by Lil Suicide, I Love Weapons, available now on Patreon. Good night.
Better listen to me spit. Better listen to my shit. Everybody knows where the Glock fit. I ain't coming with the fists. I'm coming with the bitch. Ready, slit your fucking wrists. Yo, I tag your bitch in this. Tweeting in DMing me her big luscious tits. She getting ready for the dick. Hope your woman likes it thick. I'm gonna give that bitch some kids. Yeah, I'm drugged out and looking for fame. Singing in the rain. Lil Suicide, don't pray. Unless I pray on a woman's hole. Then my penis, it will grow. I love weapons. And I love crack cocaine. If you want to, I can erase the pain. I love weapons. And I love crack cocaine. If you want it, oh my God, I can show you how to erase the pain. Erase the pain. I burned every bridge, I did every drug. Still not enough for this filthy thug. I ain't happy till I run through some slugs. Not satisfied till this carpet stained with blood. Give me all you own, or I'll burn your home. The purge is real, give me pearls or I'll crack your dome. Off the fucking floor, fill it with foam. Soon you gonna learn what I'm on you homes. This is America. In 2020 you fuck, you got no more luck. So suck it up and give me your truck, or I'll fuck you up. You better